Oh my God. How Madlife solved League of Legends. Madlife documentary. Okay.
Best player to
this is a 1 hour and 11-minute video. Do we just watch it after the series is over or what?
ever play League is, there's no doubt that the very first name mentioned is going to be him, Faker. With 5 Worlds wins, the most of any player, and over a 70% win rate at Worlds, it's an obvious answer.
Crazy.
Faker entered the pro scene during...
That is like the least impressive out of Faker stats. 71% win rate at Worlds is whatever, because Worlds used to be a tournament where you would just get millions of free wins. You know, like you had that group stage where there used to just be less Korean teams, less Chinese teams at Worlds. So you'd get easier group stage, and then your quarterfinals matches, like their quarterfinals matches used to be like AHQ in quarterfinals and stuff, you know? What's the most impressive for Faker out of like all the stats to me is like the 10 LCKs, obviously, in the 5 World Championships. I think that's insane. And just overall, like when you just watch him play the game, just the amount of times that he's able to affect games from losing positions is crazy. That's not a stat, but just like that's what I think of when I think of Faker. I think of his ability to affect games from a losing position. But in terms of accomplishments, 5 Worlds and then 10 LCKs is fucking crazy. 10 LCKs is like really, really hard to do. I mean, just think about Chovy. Chovy is now playing in a 3-split system, which I mean, Faker played 1 year of that, and Chovy has 5 LCKs, right? Technically, he only has 4 because the last one didn't even really count. So he has 4 LCKs. That's fucking Chovy, bro. This guy's 10 LCKs. It's so hard to win LCK 10 times.
Season 3 and won Worlds that same year. Ever since, he's been regarded as one of the greats and almost always the absolute greatest. But what about before Faker? Before him, was there a single player who was considered without a doubt to be the greatest of all time? Well, yeah, there was.
They talk about him like he's up here and then everyone else is like down here.
Bro, I love these this is like peak Thorin. The Team Acer Thorin YouTube channel or YouTube interviews, the Grilled series, this was peak Thorin.
Oh, is that overrating? Is he really that good?
He's the best, of course.
He seems to know the limits of champions that he does things with champions I didn't even know were possible.
Well, he's God, is what everyone says.
He was definitively the best player in the world.
When hearing those quotes, you might think they were about Faker. After all, no one talks about other players quite like that. But they weren't talking about him. They were talking about a player who had the title of God before Faker even had any titles. The player who changed the way a role was played forever. Yep. They were talking about Madlife.
And Faker delivers into the play. That is synergy.
He changed the way support is played.
Okay,
that's me. I'm in the video. I made it. I think that what it really was is because I played in this era. I played versus Madlife. I got to scrim versus him. I played versus him. I competed versus him at Worlds. No. Didn't I actually just get railed by Madlife at Worlds? He was yeah, I got railed by him. Azubu Frost versus Dignitas, Worlds 2012. Yeah, I got railed by him, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no. I got railed by him, not at Worlds, in LCK. When I played in LCK, or what it was called OGN Champions at the time. It was LCK before LCK was a thing. This is from, OGN. When I played in OGN, I played against Madlife, and he was so much better than our support that I realized that our support needed to be benched, and we just got a new support because this guy was too good.
Noon, can he 1v1 and Mach Noon trying to get away? There's the box. Mach Noon leaps up and gets pulled back.
I got railed by Najin's sword at Worlds.
No way!
And he's gonna shoot it in a way where they will juke it and they will hit him.
If you could put me with Madlife,
It has to be Madlife?
it has to be Madlife. If I'm having a bad game, let's say I make some mistakes, I could trust Madlife and be like, this guy's going to potentially carry me this game.
He wins all the games when he plays Blitzcrank. It's a simple fact.
He has the most accurate
All right, let's be honest here.
He wins all the games when he plays.
Not to be a backseat Andy, but here he should flash E him and then hook. He should never flash hook here. He can flash E him. He's in range to actually flash E, knock him up, and then even if he flashes, then he'll be CC'd, then he'll get a free knockup. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It's a simple fact.
He has the most accurate Blitzcrank pulls out of anybody I've ever seen.
But he would make these grabs that were impossible. Madlife is just the best player, period.
He was also the first support player ever to actually be able to hard carry a team.
There is no victory without the blessing of God, and there is no God but Madlife.
There was a time when pro players, their coaches, and even the casters knew as an undisputed fact that Madlife was the best player in the world. His impact on the game is still felt to this day. Despite never winning a Worlds tournament, he changed the support role permanently. Once he showed what it was capable of, it was never played the same way again. He demonstrated to the world that not only was support not just a ward bot, and not only could it be impactful, support could even carry. And carry is exactly what Madlife did. This is the story and legacy of the player who solved the support role. The faker before there was faker. Madlife.
Oh, the bandage barely leaves with a flash test, and it's Madlife. Shen coming in as well. How in the world do you get to be that good? Madlife is God.
Before we talk more about Madlife, let me introduce you to this video sponsor, which might be particularly useful for the Riot developers out there who could be watching this video right now.
I can't even find I want to find the game I played against him, but I don't even know where it was.
.dev. See, League's client is infamously buggy. It's basically held together by duct tape. And believe it or not, that's actually a huge upgrade over the hopes and dreams that it used to rely on. Boot.dev is a learning platform designed to teach you back-end web development from start to finish, such as Python or JavaScript. But Boot.dev is not like most other platforms. Its platform is built to look and feel like a role-playing game. You complete quests, earn experience, and level up while learning a valuable skill. The easiest way to get people to give up on something is to make it boring. Boot.dev understands this very well, and that's why they get you writing code and working on projects right away. This way, you're not just endlessly reading without actually applying the skills you're learning.
Okay.
Not only that, Boot.dev's content is actually free to read and watch in guest mode, so you can start completely for free. Then, with a paid membership, you'll unlock the interactive features, like hands-on coding, game mechanics, and progress tracking. In addition to all of that, the team at Boot.dev is so confident in their product that they have a 30-day no questions asked refund policy. This is because they don't want any students feeling like they didn't get their money's worth. So if you've ever even thought about coding, now's the time to try it out. You can go to boot.dev and try the courses completely for free. When you decide to purchase, you can use my code MYTH to get 25% off your first payment. If you choose the annual plan, it'll be 25% off for the full year. Thank you again to boot.dev for sponsoring this video, and let's jump back into it. There is no greater honor in League than having something named after you. The NSEC.
Q's in, wards back, kicks in. That is so hard to execute.
The Flame Horizon. The Scara Ward.
Wow, can I really not get the ward over?
Scara? Nah. Scara? Scara, bro, come on.
There's a ward range on this. I hate this game.
The Captain Jack. And of course, the Madlife.
Wansuck again getting caught a bit. How does he hit every single one?
For a very large part of League's history, landing any hook, making any prediction, would result in someone calling you Madlife. There was no greater feeling. But a Madlife hook isn't just any hook. It's when you do this. This move, which many players now consider a common play, was popularized.
The shy inting even back in 2012. What a goat.
By Madlife. If you haven't played League for over 10 years, that definitely sounds wrong to you. It seems obvious that this is something you can do. And sure, there's no doubt that someone, somewhere predicted a flash in League's early years, but no one was doing it intentionally and consistently, and definitely not against the best players in the world, except for him. Madlife's impact on League cannot be exaggerated enough. The amount of montages that were created in honor of Madlife back in the day is honestly unbelievable.
Different Shy? No, that was the Shy. That was the same Shy. The Shy is different than Shy, but that was the Shy.
Especially when you consider that, until him, support was seen as a role where you just bought wards and then put down wards. The Madlife montage was basically League's equivalent to MLG Halo videos, or Call of Duty quickscoping montages. Basically, Madlife was the guy that everyone wanted to be, who everyone tried to copy. It's hard to explain just how ridiculously impactful he was, especially with him never winning a Worlds tournament. See, there are players like Mata, for example, who in modern times is considered by many to be the best support player of all time.
No, we can't be saying that, bro. Please don't make me argue that Mako and Keria are better all time than Mata. Please, bro, I can't handle it.
Matter of fact, based on the title and thumbnail, you might have thought this video was about a pretty wide range of supports, maybe Keria or Wolf. Madlife,
that's worse than saying it's Barrel, bro. That's honestly worse than saying it's Barrel.
though, is the king without a crown. The thing is, he didn't need one to be considered the best. And even without one, he's still one of the only, maybe the only support player to have ever been considered the best player of all time.
Sure.
not just the best support player.
It's like people who say the best jungler of all time is Dandy over Canyon. You know, they're like, bro, but Dandy in that season 4 Worlds, he was so far ahead of the other junglers. He is better all time than Canyon. When people hit me with that, I can't, bro. I can't. Wait, did he say better than Wolf? Wait, did I hear? Oh, I didn't hear this. Let's see this.
Nail, you might have thought this video was about a pretty wide range of supports, maybe Kyria or Wolf.
Please stop it, bro. Stop it. It's just such rage bait. It's such insane rage bait. I can't.
Madlife, though, is the king without a crown. The thing is, he didn't need...
Mako plays Dota. Nice. Mako is f***ing playing Dota. All right, nice. Cool.
One to be considered the best. And even without one, he's still one of the only, maybe the only support player to have ever been considered the best player of all time, not just the best support player. Madlife changed the role completely, while players like Mata polished it and perfected it. So how is it that Madlife managed this? Where does his legacy come from if he's never even managed to win Worlds? Why did everyone know he was the best?
Yeah, just everyone on that SKT lineup in like season 5, they were just all the goats, bro. Bang is one of the best ADs of all time. Wolf is one of the best supports of all time. Marin is one of the best top laners of all time. And Bengi is the goat jungler. They were just the goats, bro. They were just all the goats. Oh, like, do people understand that the reason why Faker is the goat by such a big margin is because of how good he was at that time? Those were like, for the most part, I mean, they're not, when I say normal players, I don't mean that they're just like an average player. But they were like normal, good Korean players at the time. Players like, to me, a player like Gorilla is better than Wolf, right? To me, a player like Gorilla is a better player than Wolf. He was better, but Wolf was just on a better team. Wolf had a lot of issues with his form, bro. Wolf had some bad times. But like, if you put Prey and Gorilla on T1 with Faker, they're winning world championships at that time. So I really hate when these players get super overrated with Faker, because the whole thing is like, that's why Faker was the GOAT, because he was the guy that you could put anyone on his team at this point, and he's just winning. If you put any good Korean players on his team, he won with Duke. Like, he is just winning because he was that good. That's the GOAT argument for Faker. Faker could have retired in season 7, and provided that Chovy didn't just win like 4 world championships or something in these later years, his career at season 7 is better than any other career. Up to season 7 is better than any other career we've seen in League of Legends, because of how good he was, how transcendent he was at the period of time. So I just really hate when I hear like Bengi and stuff get overrated and Wolf get overrated, because that is the argument for Faker. And you know what's crazy is, like, if you are a Faker lover, if you make those other players better than they are, it diminishes Faker's impact. It diminishes how good Faker is if you're just like, yeah, he was also just playing with the 5 best players of all time or some shit, or the 4 best players of all time outside of him. That means that it's like, oh, then was Faker even that good? Yes, he was. He was that good, bro. He was that good. They put his academy team players on his team. They were still fucking insane.
Best anyway. Well, most wikis say that Madlife's pro career started in 2012, but this isn't actually true. His pro career started on a team called Ultimate X Darkness. Yes, really. The team had formed specifically to play at the qualifier
for World Cyber Games. I got 3rd in this qualifier, so I didn't get to go. I got 3rd in this qualifier. Bro, I love these old history videos, man. I love these old history videos. But I have to defend what actually happened, because not only did I compete against all these players at this time, like, I competed against all the players that were going to World Cyber Games. I also played solo queue with them. The Korean players used to all play on the ladder. Then I competed in LCK versus these players, and I got to experience like what they were all like at this period of time. And I watched this whole period as well, like not only as a player, but when I wasn't playing, I was somebody who watched a lot of tape always. Bro, I just need to say what actually happened. I need to say what actually happened, who's actually like the GOATs. Please do a video on Diamond Prox on how he changed the game. I refuse to do a video on Diamond Prox on how he changed the game, because if I did that, then some of his biggest wins, for example, one of his biggest wins ever was winning the IEM World Championships in season 2, and then I would have to put clips of him shitting on me in the video to make the argument for why Diamond Prox is the GOAT. So I refuse to do that shit. Diamond Prox can go himself. He ruined my life. There we go. I'd have to put grand finals clips of him shitting on me in the video to make the argument for him. Ego can't handle that shit? Hell no, it can't. Look at how popular League used to be. I mean, number one, this was a massive tournament, right? Like, this was a massive tournament. This was the best tournament, or considered the most prestigious tournament that had ever been played at this point. More than Worlds the previous year. Like, the 2011 Worlds didn't have Chinese teams in the tournament, where this team had Chinese teams and it had a much better format. Look at this shit, bro. 1.7 million views, bro. Worlds doesn't even pull videos like this. Come on, bro. Come on. Number one, these guys were just dirty cheesers. Look at this shit. Look at what they did to me. Genja gets the blue. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into the game. He gets blue with TP. He's going to go solo bot. Then they have Lee Sin and Urgot. Or, sorry, Lee Sin and Alistar. Where is he? In the middle. They put Clairvoyance on me. I pull it to the bush. I'm like, what the f is happening? What could be happening here? I'm playing Shyvana with Exhaust, so used to not take Flash on Shyvana. And I just get completely fisted. I don't know why I fucking pulled it there, bro. We didn't even know about pulling. Look at me, bro. I'm on the wait. Yeah, I'm on the camera. That's me right there. I'd have to put... Nah, I refuse, bro. I'm not making a Diamond Prox montage. That guy. Bro, that was like before, dude. The old days were crazy because like there used to not even be like leash ranges. There used to not be like leash indicators. There was no patience or anything. That shit would just reset, and when something used to reset, it would reset to full life. So if you like pulled something too far and you thought you were on the right pixel and you weren't on the right pixel, that shit literally resets and it goes to full life and you lose like 40 seconds of your clear. Times were tough. Jungling was tough.
Qualifiers for World Cyber Games 2011. This was the first big international league.
Yep, that's the footage, bro. Yep. Wait, is anyone able to find the game that I played versus Zubu Frost? I played in summer 2012 LCK. Dignitas versus Zubu Frost. Can anyone find that game? Because I looked for it. I couldn't really find it.
League of Legends tournament, and was also the first time a league tournament was broadcasted by OGN. On this team, Madlife actually played AD carry until Loco Doco joined, prompting his switch to support. Around this time, the team was asked to change their name by World Cyber Games, and they chose Maximum Impact Gaming, or MIG. Not yet MIG Frost, just MIG for now. Coach Kang, also known as On Air, was also brought on as a manager for the team, quickly taking the role of team coach as well. The game footage from around this time is either non-existent or at best extremely low quality, so there's not that much I can show. Right now, what you're seeing on the screen is genuinely the quality of the video. I didn't make it that bad as a joke. That's actually it. MIG ultimately lost to Extreme Dive Gaming and went through a lot of changes, eventually ending up with what most people would know as the starting roster of MIG Frost. How did they become Frost, you might wonder? Well, it's thanks to Coach Kang. See, he had the idea to have a second team, so that the teams could train against each other.
Wait, Coach Kang?
See, he had MIG Frost. How did they become Frost, you might wonder? Well, it's thanks to Coach Kang.
Okay.
See, he had the idea to have a second team, so that the teams could train against each other. He recruited Captain Jack, Reaper, Ambition, Helios, and Lustboy. This team was named MIG.
My goat Reaper and Lustboy, bro. Holy shit.
Blaze, while the original MIG was renamed to MIG Frost. The idea of having a gaming house at this point was still very new. So Coach Kang created a PowerPoint presentation, yes, really, and went to the parents of each player to get permission to have them stay in a gaming house. The plan actually worked, but the team had no sponsor, and the gaming house they were staying in was actually a set of rooms inside the company office of one of the players' parents.
That was not the gaming house.
Interview, Woong said that
I remember, like, dude, I stayed in a gaming house like this. I mean, they were essentially just they were like apartments / hotel rooms just next to each other, and that's what gaming houses were at this point. Like, I lived in a gaming house in Korea in 2012 for I think around 2 months. Maybe it was like 2.5 months. I forget how long I was there, but I was there for a while in a gaming house in Korea, and bro, it was just every single day was the same. We would wake up, I would go across the street, there'd be a convenience store. It was called like Family Mart. We'd go to Family Mart, we'd get like these like rice balls with like meat inside of them because bro, back then you were on your fucking own. When we went to these gaming houses, it's not like we had a manager and a coach and like these like people looking after us. No, it was just me and the boys, like me, Scara, Cutie, Locust, and Crumbs. We just all went on a flight to Korea. We went on different flights. We got to Korea, and then we just had access to like a hotel room that OGN provided us. Well, we had a couple hotel rooms, but it was essentially we just had a gaming house that was provided to us by OGN / LCK for competing in the league for 2 months. Because at the time we were actually a pretty popular team. You know, Scar and Voyboy were like 30,000 viewer streamers. I mean, we had a decent amount of popularity from those types of guys, so it was really good for them to have us. Also, this is coming off when we had just played in World Finals versus Moscow 5, or like World IM World Championship Finals versus Moscow 5. So they wanted to have us in the tournament to bring legitimacy to the tournament, and we stayed in one of these houses 8 a.m. or not even 8 a.m. It's probably around like 11 or 12. Go get a little rice ball with some meat inside of it, then play solo queue for like 4 or 5 hours. Then we go eat dinner, come back, and then scrim from like 6 p.m. until like 12 or 1, and then play solo queue afterwards. And we just did that every single day for 2 months. It was a fun time. It was actually like insane experiences, bro. You can't replace those experiences.
This was essentially 2 times the size of a normal bathroom. It was impossible to sleep normally, we had to sleep under the desk. Because funds were needed to run the gaming house, On Air took a second job selling squid at fish markets to help pay the bills. The team had a lot to prove and a lot of incentive to win. Luckily, they had been invited to the 2012 OGN Invitational, which was intended to be a mini tournament before the full Azubu Champions spring season started. At this tournament, World Elite and Counter Logic Gaming were
CLG went,
seen as the teams to beat. Frost managed to defeat Extreme Dive Gaming and lost to World Elite. This meant they had to play against CLG in the finals, and Frost actually won. The team without a sponsor had managed to win the title and the massive prize pool of about $4,000. League has really come a long way. When asked what they would do with the prize money, Loco Doco said, "There's no mattress in our dormitory, so we're firstly going to get one." At this point, Madlife was quickly gaining notoriety, with players often saying that the MIG in the team's name actually stood for Madlife is God.
Well, I'll be wishing you luck this weekend. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans out there, or anywhere they can keep up with you?
해외 팬들에게는 이제 제가 아직 유명하지 않은데
I'm not famous yet, but I'm thankful for your continuous support. Okay, nice.
In an interview with Inven in 2012, Cloud Templar said this.
I'm pretty sure I did an Inven interview when I was there. They like came and they like hung out with us and everything.
Thought that support couldn't make a big impact in the game, but after playing with Madlife and then playing with other supports in solo queue, I realized it. If you look at the minimap, there's no fog of war when Madlife is on your team. Madlife helped me realize that supports could carry the game. Madlife was mostly playing the typical supports that you would expect to see, especially Sona. While he eventually became known for playmaking supports, even his Sona was making plays. Even this early in League's lifespan, Madlife was innovating with support picks. A short, blurry video of him showing Lux support in solo queue from 2012 now has almost 1 million views. The next major event for Frost was in March of 2012, when OGN's first major tournament began. Frost and Blaze both played extremely well, and the finals featured the 2 sister teams against each other. This was an extremely hyped match, especially for 2012. Just look at this trailer. And yes, unfortunately, this is the highest quality I could find.
Holy banger trailer.
In the finals, though, Blaze swept Frost 3-0. This was a devastating loss for Frost, but at the very least it was against the team that knew them best. The good news for both teams is that they would finally get sponsored. MIG became Azubu, Frost, and Blaze, and those are the team names they used at Azubu the Champions Summer. It was at this tournament that Madlife would finally lock in a Hook champion for the first time on the pro stage. Just listen to the casters when he locked in Blitzcrank, and keep in mind, this clip is from his 3rd time playing Blitz in his pro career, and he was already getting this kind of reaction.
Is this the first time he played it? I think didn't he play it versus us? I swear to God he played it versus us. I swear to God he played it versus us.
Right from the start, his Blitzcrank was iconic.
Is that
and he gained
misinformation?
The nickname
or is that facts? It might be misinformation. Let's see.
Machine, not only for his Blitz play, but also because he seemed emotionless. Madlife would land the most diabolical, soul-crushing hook anyone has ever seen. The camera would pan to
Nope, he played it versus us. This is CLG EU. This was later. CLG EU, this was in finals or what? Yeah, no, this was in... Okay, here we go. I'm fact checking it. They played it here, but he played it into us. I don't know if anyone has footage from this match, but this was before. This was in the group stage. He played it into us. Look at our team comp. We had Grave Soraka bot lane into Blitz Corky. Karthus Mundo Aurelia. How the f can we win? Who was our coach? Oh, we had no coach. How the f is it possible? But he played it versus us earlier on in LCK Summer.
Show him, and he'd just be sat there like this. He was so known for his Blitzcrank that he even cosplayed him. That actually is Madlife. I wish I could show full high-quality gameplay from these specific matches on the screen, but a lot of the old OGN VODs are simply gone, lost
in his pro career. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's a sort of League of Legends lost media. Spoilers for an upcoming video. Just know that any footage you see on the screen from before 2014 or so was near impossible to find. Things got grim. At one point, I was watching League VODs from 2012 on Daily Motion that was recorded with fraps. If you squint,
bro, can I figure? Oh, Can I figure out where this is? I want a daily motion.
That's right, you can actually make out that there is in fact a game of League being played. During Azubu the Champions Summer in 2012, Azubu Frost dominated. They even managed to beat their sister team, Blaze, 3-2 in a best of 5. And in the finals, they would finally face off against a team that was often considered to be the best in the world, CLG EU, of course.
그냥 우리 입장에서 보면 정말 최고의 빌런이 온 거죠, 약간.
Frost lost the first 2 games and needed to win 3 in a row to turn it around.
이 승부를 프로스트가 뒤집는 건 상상하기 좀 힘든 것 같다. 네, 그런 얘기까지 나왔었어요. 저도 그 얘기에 동의를 했었고요.
CLG EU started with a huge lead in the 3rd game, but made a bad engage and Frost were able to come back.
아직도 기억나요. 쿨템 형이 중간에 있는데 갑자기 상대 이제 블라디미드랑 이렇게 해가지고 마오카이를 보드가 넣는 거예요. 뭐지? 얘네 갑자기 왜 플레이를 이렇게 하지? 라는 생각이 들면서 이거 잘하면 할만하겠는데? 라는 생각을 했죠.
Crazy having to find this old stuff.
In Game 4, Madlife's Blitzcrank was front and center.
한쪽에는 큰 부담을 가지고 있어요.
Turns out they can just sit here. Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
Madlife Aurelia.
Crazy hook.
Oh my god, Madlife is
얘는 뭔가 일로 갈 것 같다 했는데 딱 진짜 걸려가지고.
How did you get it? It's because I thought that that's where the guy would go. So I tried to hook where he was going to go. And people were like, holy wait, what the But he could go anywhere.
뿌듯했죠.
The 5th and final game of the series is extremely memorable and is a huge reason why you'll often see old posts talking about Madlife's Alistar. Just listen to the way they talk about it in this LCK interview.
경기는 뭐 설명이 필요 없을 것 같아요. 이미 뭐 많은 LCK 팬분들랑 알고 계실 것 같고.
아, 다이애나 그 장면이요? 저 직관했거든요.
매드라이프 알리스타가 꿈에 나오겠어요.
지금 말씀드리고 있는 이 상황에서도 약간 소름 돋습니다. 등에 전율이
알리스타가 이제 프로게임 다이애나를 계속 마크하는데 그때 당시에는 저도 가끔 돌려봐도 상대 캐리 라인을 제대로 마크해가지고 딜로스를 시키는 그런 움직임이 대단했죠.
자, 들어가 있어. 자, 알리스타 또 다이애나 물었죠. 다이애나가 제대로 딜로스 생겼어요.
Alright, here we go. Holy you did find it. Where the was this? I was searching all over. All right, wait, this is the game? Hold on. This is the game I played in LCK versus Madlife. Oh my god, let's see the intros. Where do they do the intros? Nah, wait, what's happening? Oh, there it is. This shit was crazy back in the day. I don't think you can go higher quality, right? Oh, that's not quality?
네, 자 계속해서
the music
챔스 보내드리도록 하겠습니다.
Holy.
네, 정말 반가우신 것 같습니다 저희가. 아무튼 말파이트가 드디어 움직인 말파이트가 제 역할을 해서 결국 낮은 소드가 방에 갔어요.
그렇죠. 아주 임팩트 있는 퍼스트 블러드도 만들어냈고 한타 때 늘 무게감 있는 움직임을 보여준 게 바로 막눈의 말파이트였었죠.
네.
조합 자체가 굉장히 좋았다고 봅니다.
그렇습니다.
네.
먼데 그레이브스 좋았죠. 네.
그렇죠.
진짜
네.
그레이브즈가 마음껏 진짜 아무 걱정 안 하고 딜을 넣을 수 있는 상황이라고 해야 될까요? 정말 뭐 걱정할 게 없었어요.
Okay, there it is, Dignitas. Look at our fucking placings. This is wrong. Versus Uber Frost, we didn't win. We beat ROMG, which was a team that had like Acorn and Heart, and these players that ended up being on Samsung Blue a couple years later. Team Dignitas, first IPL 3, second IM Hanover, second MLG Anaheim. I'm pretty sure this is wrong as well. I'm pretty sure we got third in MLG Anaheim.
로방을 잡았죠.
This used to be on TV, by the way. This used to be on TV. I don't know why they have Cutie Pie as British. I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
아드모 프로스트와의 세 번째 경기가 준비가 되어 있는 상황인 게 지금 팀 디그니타스고요.
네, 8강에 2대 있다가 아드모 프로스트 윈 나오면 기가 막힌 겁니다, 진짜.
그렇죠.
살고 아드모 프로스트 준 거예요.
Damn, they have my fucking rating. My rating, which was this was like I think this was either rank 1 or very close to rank 1 at the time.
Rivera 이런 수가
Christian, do you hear Christian Rivera? Holy fuck, no
기가
way, bro.
막힙니다 진짜. 살고 사냥하니 죽은 거예요. 자 정글, 리베라. 이런 수가 이제 소관이도 끝냈을 거 아니에요. 위협 끝났을 거 아닙니까? 위쪽도.
주력 챔프, 그러니까
Yeah, wait, this is actually fucking cool, bro. This is actually so cool.
샤코로 밝혔지만 샤코 요즘 안 합니다. 예, 안 하고 다른 이제 팀파이트 위주의 챔프를 많이 선택을 하는데.
Why do people call this emo? That's just how they styled my hair. I just had long hair. So that's how they style your hair in Korea. They just put it all to the side. They put it down to like your eyebrows and just put it to the side.
최근에 또 이제 좋은 플레이를 보여줬었죠. 노틸러스와 알리스타로. 알리스타로는 알리스타는 거의 게임을 캐리한 거나
This is where the part in my hair was, bro. It was just parted right here. It's still parted right there, to be honest. My hair's just shorter now.
그리고 뭐 스카라.
IWillDominate.
자, 여러 선수들. 글로벌하게 보면 진짜.
Why are they on me for so long? This is making me uncomfortable. Is that me again, bro? Show someone else. Holy f. This is crazy times, bro. This is like, these are crazy fucking times. You can't even see the fucking game. What even happened in this game? I'm blaming my team. I just remember my bot lane got completely f***ed this game. Oh my god, wait, Cutie kind of sold him. Oh, he lives. What happened here? Alright, bot lane's losing. They got roamed on. Guys, they just camped Locust. They camped Locust so hard that we literally had a meeting like 30 minutes after this because this was our elimination match. If we won, we moved on. If we lost the Super Frost, we're out. We actually just had a meeting right after this where we decided to remove him from the team. And like, he asked us right after this game, he's like, so I'm off the team, right? We're like, we'll talk about it in a little bit. And then we just went back and we had a conversation with our management. It was a brutal conversation. We just had it on Skype. You know, Scar was the adult. He was like the dad of the team, right? So he was like, we've made the decision as a team that we want to replace Locust. We're going to go with a different player called Patoy. And they were super nervous about it. They're like, what the f-? This was like the team that had been pretty successful from the beginning. Are you sure you want to change it? Like, Locust has been on the team the entire time. And we're like, yep, it is what it is. Anyways, we got rolled by Madlife. And yeah, that was that. That was this Blitzcrank game. Damn.
서포터가 할 수 있는 모든 걸 다 보여줬고 서포터는 이렇게 하는 거다라는 거를 약간 정석적으로 보여주신 것 같아서 저는 리스펙을 하고 있고 정말 롤을 보는 걸 짜릿하게 만들어줬던 분인 것 같아요.
글로벌 골드 15,000 이상 차이라고
Crazy times.
대만의 결승전 우승입니다.
가만히
Frost had managed to pull off a reverse sweep, winning the series 3-2.
매드라이프 선수에게 저 알리스타 장면 그건 어떤 의미일까요?
무덤까지 저는 가져가지 않을까. 중요한 경기에 마침표를 알리스타로 이렇게 퍼펙트 게임으로 만들어내서
Perfect game to close the
되게
series.
뜻깊은 것 같아요.
With that, Azubu Frost had made it to Worlds 2012.
Yep.
Going into Worlds,
Huge.
the favored team to win was almost unanimously Moscow 5, with
Yep.
CLG EU and Azubu Frost both being seen as strong contenders. Frost in particular had won 2 of the biggest League of Legends events so far in Korea, the OGN Invitational and Champions 2012 Summer. And at Worlds, Frost won their first 5 games. As a matter of fact, until the finals,
so
they
good.
dropped only 1 single game, and that one game was against CLG EU. It was during this Worlds tournament, though, that Madlife was met with a cruel and cold reality. League of Legends had 3 bans per team, but only 1 champion with a hook. Let me put it this way. Madlife played 1 game on Blitzcrank at Worlds against TSM. After that match, Madlife was denied Blitzcrank.
I think they should have lost this game as well.
For the rest of the tournament. Before
point.
Talking about that, though.
Maybe not. I would have to rewatch it.
I do have to mention that this first game against TSM is the very
This
same.
is the cheating game. So what happened was one of the players wound. So the way that it used to work is we played at LA Live because, I mean, I don't know, LA Live, it's like this open area. It was really cool, bro. Like the stadium or the stages that we were on, the stage, it rotated. So you'd set up on one side of the stage and then it would like go up and rotate to the front and then you'd play your match. And then after the match was over, it would like rotate off. So you're on a rotating stage. And behind you on the rotating stage was this huge monitor, like a huge screen. It's just a massive screen. It was actually in real time. There was just a massive screen of the game here, where now when you're in a stadium, like the screens are in places you can't see. There's like things behind you. And they're also like on like the Jumbotron, which is going to be not in your vision. But during a pause, he looked up, this player Gunwoong, he looked up at the state of the game and he got information from the monitor.
A match that resulted in Azubu Frost as a team being fined $30,000 for cheating. See,
Crazy.
For some reason, Riot put enlarged versions of the minimap for each team above each team.
Yep, this meant that if played, bro.
Players turned their heads, they could actually
I remember there was a clip of me just like flaming my team at Worlds. I was so triggered by how we were. We were playing like such pussies at Worlds. This is like after we had a really good boot camp, and then we got to Worlds and we were playing so fucking scared, and I just went off. I couldn't handle it anymore.
The minimap and therefore the locations of everyone on the enemy team. There were actually multiple cases of players being issued warnings for doing this during the tournament, with Azubu Frost being the only team to actually receive a fine. During their match, the game was paused and Woong looked at TSM's minimap. The match was restarted and the players were directed to ensure that they only looked forward. Even after the restart though, Riot determined that Woong had looked at the minimap.
Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. You can see almost a pixel.
Again, and also had his team play around the information gained from it. Riot stated that they didn't think it changed the outcome of the match, but it did provide a clear advantage, and that's why the team was fined. It's still a sensitive topic, with some players feeling that disqualification of the team would have been the only fair punishment. But this video is focused on Madlife specifically, so I won't dive any further into it, because it could honestly have its own video anyway. Back to the rest of the tournament. Azubu Frost made it to the grand finals, where, to the surprise of pretty much everybody, they would not be playing against Moscow 5. They were going to play against the underdogs of the tournament, Taipei Assassins. This underdog team...
Love this team, bro. Stanley was my homie. Stanley was my homie. We played on, because they didn't have a server in China, they didn't have a server in Taiwan, so I got to play with all these guys in North American solo queue, because North American solo queue was the only solo queue that existed. Stanley was my homie from solo queue. We used to duo together, and he was like a huge Vlad player. Like, he invented a bunch of different things. He was just like such a weird player. He was one of the only players that was really innovative, like top lane, that was an innovator when it came to builds and stuff, and he innovated builds like multiple Hextech revolver Vlad, where you'd build a bunch of Hextech revolvers and that would just be like your build. You build like 4 of them and shit like that. Or like when he played Nidalee, he went Wriggle's Lantern like Nidalee top and shit like this, and he was just so fucking unique and so cool. So he was my boy, bro. I remember after they won, because we all stay at the same hotel, right, as players. You know, he's a big dude too. He was tall as fuck. Like he was a pretty big dude.
Had managed to beat Moscow 5.
Yeah, he's a big fucking dude. And when they won, I remember him like, he'll be like, he said, IWillDominate, I am so happy right now. He told me that. And I was like, God damn, I'm happy for you too, Stanley. You're a fucking beast, bro. You just won Worlds.
One of the greatest mysteries in League history, though, is why M5 refused to ban Stanley's Nidalee.
He's forced to go back into the fight. The portion of it, they know they're going to win. Stanley still giving 0 Fs as he just fights in a 2v1 situation.
0 Fs.
35 minutes into the game. TPA completely dictating this entire fight. We have 2 down for Moscow 5. Then Q. Stanley just jumping right out of absolute zero as two-shot barrage hits. And you can see they're keeping them from backing. Stanley is allowing this Baron to go completely uncontested.
But considering they also refused to ban Frog and Zanivia, it checks out. Back to Frost versus TPA. Madlife's Blitzcrank was a legendary pick.
It wasn't even Staples Center. It was somewhere else. It was in the it was in like an arena that I think it was like the USC basketball team played in or something like that. But it wasn't Staples Center, now that I remember it. That was
in
next
perspective,
year.
Across all of the major league events in Korea, Blitzcrank had been played in 10 games total. Not by Madlife, but across the whole region. 6 of those 10 games were wins. Of those 6 wins, Madlife was responsible for 4. This also means that Blitzcrank was banned against Madlife in 4 times as many matches during Worlds 2012 alone than he had even been able to play on him across his entire pro career. I've spent a lot of time talking about Madlife's Blitzcrank, but at this point in time, Sona was still Madlife's most played support overall, to the point where Jat even called it his favorite pick.
Here we go into Champion Select. How are they going to go back and forth? I know Blitzcrank has been pretty contested through this whole thing. everyone's ready to go.
Everyone is ready to go. It has been a big build-up. Let's see what they go with. There is the first ban, Blitzcrank.
They're going to lock in the Sona, I'm pretty sure, because they love Sona. It's the #1 support for them.
Going into the finals against TPA, Madlife Sona had a 6-win and 2-loss record. So, with Blitzcrank banned, that's what he played. The game started poorly for Frost, being down 5,000 gold in 20 minutes.
Taipei Assassins are reacting though.
They're going to try to get this dragon really fast, and BB had to run all the way around.
Jungle items, bro. You had to go gold for 10 items on jungle to be able to play the game because you were so fucking broke.
So it looks like they'll get this dragon uncontested. If they can fight after this, though, TPA would want to. They might try for an engage here.
They might try and go for the gauge. There's going to be the ultimate coming out from Rivera. Isn't it enough? Toys is surely going to get dropped. He's down to an egg right now. Cloud Templar is getting dived on. The damage really coming from his wound though at the back. That's going to be cleaning up. Stanley gets one.
The old school fights, damn.
That's going to be the Cowboys ultimate. He might pop over this one.
Damn.
He gets the quadra kill. He gets the quadra kill off the back. My word, Stanley, he's trying to avoid the damage.
Damn.
The is in there. And could Azumi Frost get a better turnaround than that? Taipei Assassins trying to cover this one out. Are they going to try and steal the blue buff away?
Yeah, I was there.
Bait someone in.
Everyone, dude, when you used to go to Worlds, they paid for your hotel for like 3 weeks. So I lived in a hotel maybe it was 2 weeks. I forget how long it was. Maybe it was 2 or 3 weeks. And we lived in a hotel in LA for like 3 weeks. We got eliminated on like day 1 or some shit. And then we just chilled for the rest of the time.
Wound just
crazy,
off the
bro.
side there with Madlife as well as Shy. Is anyone going to go into it? I expect
they get the stun!
They get the stun towards Wound. They try and have the damage to Twister Advance to leap it through, and Wound goes down. It's actually Mistake that picks up the kill though. Not the ideal, but Madlife now getting dived on. BB thinks he can take this one. The crescendo on the turret. Madlife might turn it. He's got him.
So mental, bro. That's World Finals, and he's just fucking diving like that to kill the Sona. Holy shit.
Back. That's going to be a 1-for-1 down in that lane. Of course, they've got a big amount of stun in there. That axe coming across.
Here they come.
Oh, they've used it. Shirelli is really going to go down. They're going to catch the ultimate across them. Didn't really hit the right spot though. Crescendo goes across. Cloud Templar's getting dropped very low. Toys is being taken down. Not really the right target. Rapid Star is getting dropped. Rapid Star is down. Has he got his ultimate available? Cloud Templar taken down very low. Here comes the red cube. It should hit a few. It does hit a few. And
damn, the Sona
comes in. And Azumi Frost turning into a 3-on-1 fight. Toys manages to get back out of his rebirth.
Poison Nivea, bro. Holy shit.
They're trying to go for it and they can see. They're going to come back. They dived on towards Stanley. Stanley's the one that wants to take the damage, and immediately he turns into the rest of Azumi Frost. There's the gun to the Sam Molly. Rapid Star taken very low. They're going to use the Zonics out
Toys,
straight
man.
away. They can't manage to take it down.
Shit.
Cloud Templar will get dropped by Stanley. Immediately turning it. Lil Morse takes it down. Rapid Star.
I swear to God, it's not just nostalgia. It literally was just more fun to play like team fights and stuff like this back then.
The Stanley's going to get dropped. The Cowboys.
I personally had more fun with the game.
Oh, it's a triple kill for Rapid Star. And now Woog and Shy should chase down Lil Balls. And Shy gets the kill. And surely the game for Azumi Frost. We are 28-26. They're going directly for the Nexus turrets. Jat, what an amazing turnaround.
Azubu had won the first match of the series, and in the next match, Blitzcrank was banned again. But this time, TPA picked away Madlife Sona.
Blitzcrank being banned out by Taipei Assassins once again. Something they did in the first match as well.
And I think that is going to be a Sona that they get in to avoid that synergy.
Frost lost the second match very quickly.
Riot, buddy? I don't even know what that is, bro, but probably not.
Down 10,000 gold at the 20-minute mark. In the third match, Madlife was once again denied Blitzcrank, and TPA also banned Sona, dedicating 2 bans to Madlife.
Even though Sona is Madlife's by far favorite support, he's got plenty of other options. He's got Alistair, he's got Zyra, and support Lux.
At 20 minutes, Frost was down 10k gold again, and this time, they surrendered.
I'm seeing on the screen.
Bro, isn't that crazy? You used to be able to surrender. Like, we surrendered a bunch of games. Like, I mean, there was just points where it was over. That's how games used to be, and I think because it came from Warcraft 3, like, if you remember, like, Warcraft 3, you guys probably don't remember, you guys are young as hell, but Warcraft 3, almost no game that's an RTS game would actually end by killing the enemy's like base or whatever. Normally all RTS games end with the person that starts losing FFing. Like if a game is going on in Warcraft 3 at 5 minutes and somebody makes a mistake where they lose their hero, where they know they shouldn't lose their hero in the game, they will literally just forfeit. We thought it was the same way. It's like once the game becomes unwinnable, you just forfeit. That's what everyone just thought you were supposed to do.
In the next game, once again, this final match was devastating right from the start for Azubu.
So much noise coming up from these crowds. There is a ward on the red, and they're going to be walking over that one.
So here we can see the ward being gone down on the red. Azubu Frost going to sneak around.
Taipei Assassins sneaking
I think in finals is crazy though. No, if you're down 10k gold at 20 minutes in a game where you get outscaled, GG.
Now we see them all in that brush, but they were seen by the ward, so everyone on TPA knows that they're there.
Mistake Nunu.
They could very
the Nunu
well
Ezreal lane, the champion
ball.
that probably benefits from attack speed from Nunu the least out of all the ADs with a Nunu, and they won World Finals with it. Graves Lulu with a fucking Lux Shyvana Jace. These are the worst team comps imaginable, bro. No one knew how to draft back in these days.
Will go into scout before anyone follows up. It's just a matter of if they try to fight off the back of it.
Are they going to back off? Are they going to go for it? Are they going to cancel it? Shy is going, Madlife going. We're seeing them coming round. Rapid Star's been spotted. He's going to get the light binding. Just about got the light binding down, and Stanley does try to get the taunt on him, but he's forced away. And I tell you what, Madlife is completely out of position. Madlife's going to go down. There's no way in hell he's ever going to escape this one. The kill's being
Damn, Madlife.
And that is first for 2 minutes gone.
The only mistake here could be if Shy gets too much farm on the bottom. There's a
Wound's got caught. Wound's got caught. The exhaust goes down. He's going to catch on. And he does
Just blood boil somebody, bro.
And that goes
You get fucking Nunu level 1, you skill W for blood boil. That is so fucking crazy, bro. The game was so different.
BB, could you give worse kills to Taipei Assassins? Toys and BB already 1-0 up. Just 2 minutes gone in this game. Lil Balls is all over the blue buff.
Lil
Now
Balls.
they're just getting another buff steal. They've stolen so many blues in this tournament.
Played against this
They've
guy
also
so
stolen
much.
so many reds, and this is just the best start.
So like when I started playing League, I was a Shaco one trick. That's why they showed like during the OGN thing, they're like, oh, this is his rating and this is the champion that he plays, whatever. Because I was like a Shaco one trick, eventually when I got to the top of the ladder, I would get Shaco banned versus me all the time. And Lil Balls was an Udyr player. So I learned how to play Udyr from watching Lil Balls or playing against him, because I was like, okay, I'll pick that up next. And then he started playing Olaf because I was playing Udyr, so I would take his Udyr sometimes. So he would then play Olaf, and then I picked up Olaf from Lil Balls. So that's like how people used to play the game back then, bro.
They could hope for super.
Like, it used to take a while to learn a champion. Like, bro, you don't understand. You had to get the exact runes. You would die to the jungle, bro. It was hard times back in the day.
Coming in, they are on the final Nexus turret poke, and Shy is getting dropped already. BB ultimate true shot barrage going across there, and that's going to be Cloud Templar ultimate across, but he didn't even manage to catch on to a Stanley. There's the Lulu ultimate, but it's not enough. There is no damage coming out from a MIG Frost. Taipei Assassin to do no. The shockwave pulls in Cloud Templar. BB picks up a kill on Chase there. Shy goes down. Madlife getting skipped. Oriana picks up another kill. Taipei Assassin.
Damn.
Season 2 World Champion.
Damn, they did
Madlife
it.
was famously denied his crown, and
So
TPA became the Season 2 World Champions. TPA beating both Moscow 5 and Azubu Frost is one of the biggest upsets in League's history, to the
Crazy.
point that it's still brought up over 10 years after it happened. In a 2022 interview, responding to a Reddit thread about how TPA managed to win Worlds, team captain and support player Mistake said that even TPA didn't expect to win. He attributed a large amount of their success to the fact that they just weren't seen as a threat, so the other team didn't prepare for them. Despite what you might expect, this World Championship...
That's being humble. They were actually really good. They were actually really good. I remember when we were in Korea, we scrimmed TPA. TPA used to scrim Korean teams with 100+ ping. I think they had like 100 ping from Taiwan at that point. And they would scrim Korean teams with 100+ ping. And they were like one of the best teams in the world at this point. They were legitimately really f***ing good. So that's like them being humble. But realistically, I got to scrim against all these teams. And I actually thought, like, Locust was the guy who kind of, always analyzed all these teams. He always considered them the best team in the world at this time. So we thought that they were really fucking good, and they beat the shit out of us when we scrimmed them.
Didn't change Madlife's rise in popularity. His reputation would only grow from here. Following Worlds 2012 was Champions 2013 Winter. It started very well for Azubu. They made it all the way to the finals, where they played against Najin Sword. Blitzcrank was again banned in all 3 matches, and Frost was swept 3-0. This was another devastating loss in the finals of a tournament for Frost. After Champions Winter 2013, Azubu Frost and Blaze had a name change. They were now named after their new sponsor, CJ Entus. The next event was IEM World Championship Season 7, and this one is very important for one simple reason. Thresh released in January 2013 and was easily one of the best champions in the game. This tournament was the first time Madlife would get to play Thresh in a competitive match, and Thresh would become his most well-known champion. Right from the start, before he had to even lock the champion in, the casters were already hyping him up.
It's left open
and then, they take Sona.
T-Man is a very happy
Sona
man.
as the last ban. Now this is an interesting one. Thresh open, which is insta-locked by CJ. Yeah, it's very, very confusing to me. I think SK Gaming, they've got something in mind. They don't want to deal with the crescendo.
This guy was bad. Here, Qbot, this guy was not good. I'm telling you right now. I got to play against him, I'm pretty sure.
They're more afraid of a crescendo than they are of Thresh, and Thresh has slipped through the cracks.
He's either in scrims or something, but I remember I thought this guy was not good.
Madlife on Thresh. We were talking about it yesterday, and you were saying how you wanted to see Korean teams running Thresh. Yes. I think they have given Thresh to possibly the strongest Korean support player, and I'm giddy.
Shy teleporting in. Candy Panda flipped and dropped. Kevin does get a dunk on towards Cloud Templar. Meanwhile, the hook on Cloud. Kevin, that's going to be
running.
Very, very dead Darius. Can Shy finish him off? There we see the Nip Baron will get dropped. There's nothing they can do about it. And the hook on Nip. Position reverse and Nip gets dropped. Not a chance.
SK Ocelot.
Yep, like
running it down
by the Baron. And easy to do that one.
And it's looking like Kevin might get caught out here. Here comes Madlife. Hook goes in. The charm goes down. Slam dunk. Kevin, you are absolutely destroyed.
The very next game against the Nexus, Thresh was left open again.
Templar sitting on Thresh.
So he's waiting around trying to go for the
another thing I forgot to say. CJ Entus, or Azubu Frost, when they beat the shit out of us easily, we just felt like we were so pathetic. I mean, our team was completely destroyed. We had been getting shit on in scrims in Korea by literally second tier teams. Like the second tier teams, which ended up being pretty fucking good. Like a lot of the second tier teams that weren't even in this tournament, like Zenix Storm, second team, they ended up having players like Haru, I remember. Was one of the guys that was on these teams really early. Maybe it was the same. Maybe it was not Haru. Maybe it was somebody else. But they had like these junglers that you ended up hearing about later on that were kind of unknown, and they ended up being some of the best junglers in Korea later on. And we were getting shit on by second teams, so we thought we were like pathetic. We were like ashamed to even show up and play because people had expectations for us, considering that we had just made World Championship or IM World Championship finals the year before. And when we lost to CJ Entus Frost, we just thought, oh man, we're so much lower than these guys. And then afterwards, Cloud Templar, I wonder if he remembers this. I'm sure if you asked him, he would remember this. They came over, Cloud Templar and I think Madlife came over to us and like shook all of our hands, and they were so nice. And then they were like, it was such an honor. We're so thankful that you came to Korea and played against us. We're like big fans of your team. And this is like right after they completely mauled us. Like, I mean, you saw the game, right? They're completely shitting on us. Like, we're super big fans. We're thank you so much for coming to Korea and playing with us. We really appreciate you guys. You guys are really good. It's like, bro, what do you mean? What do you mean we're good? You guys are way better than us. And they came over, they shook all of our hands and shit. It was so nice.
Yet again, and he actually might get trapped as Madlife's coming around from behind him. And Templar, they actually might pincher him.
God damn. Yeah, here we go. This could be bad news. Is the hook going to land onto him? Overpower taking a decent bit of damage here. And they're just auto-attacking him for now. They're going to wait for the hook. There is the hook coming out of Madlife. What a play. He waited so patiently for that one to happen. I wonder if we're going to see that switch over once again.
Oh, Silver actually gets caught in the mid lane.
Immediate danger of that hook coming out. Does actually land there
he's
onto
just hitting
Arkwell.
hooks just for fun.
And will
for ego.
finish him off. There's the hook onto Arkwell though. Gonna go in. Box is down. Ignite is down. That is
Fresh auto attacks used to do so much fucking damage with Emax, with like points in E.
A little bit of a bug there in the client, which
did I see that correctly? Oh, this Ezreal has no points in W. This can't be right. He had no points in W at level 10. 1 point has to be good.
Down. That is a kill. A little bit of a bug there in the client, which we can't see when a couple of pauses coming in. Shy is actually going to get the flip. Look at that CC. Celeber doesn't even know what's hit him. Wound going very low there.
Some of these players ended up. So this was like the predecessor to the first team that Yankos was on Rocket. I remember Celeber, Overpow, and Zoxus.
Put his ultimate through. There is Elise diving up in the air. They want to get Wound, but they've managed to keep him protected. It was Rapid Star that went in. They've got the hook on Arkwell. Our Rapid Star is still on full HP there. Wouldn't surprise me to see Wound go even further. There is the hook landing on Arkwell. Brilliant play coming out of Madlife for that one.
From the start of the tournament to the grand finals, CJ Entus Frost lost only 2 games, leading up to an extremely anticipated grand finals where they once more played against their sister team, CJ Entus Blaze.
Thresh is still available.
As soon as I say that, they pick Sona, or at least they're hovering Sona, and now hovering Lulu. But I would think maybe Frost would pick up Thresh if Blaze doesn't. It's definitely a possibility, and we've been seeing Madlife play those sort of hook type champions and those initiation type champions a lot. He's incredibly well known for his Blitzcrank. We watched him playing Thresh, and we were completely blown away by his performance, on that champion. So it is a possibility. Whether or not they're going to feel that Thresh is comfortable, is capable of maybe defending towers or pushing towers is another question. If they're going to go for this lane swap, I'm going to be very happy if Thresh does get locked in for Madlife.
Through the jungle right now. This could be a little bit dangerous. Actually going to get taunted in. The hook will land as well if they got enough damage. Exhaust going to go down
sent it
here.
at their red. What?
And that will be the first blood coming in for Shed.
There's like a lane swap where Ambition was trying to go top and he just got caught. That's what was happening. I couldn't even tell what was happening.
Buff there, as we are going to see Lustboy here getting in there. I mean, may go down. Wow. The hook comes in the end.
But here comes Ambition. He's going to throw down that equalizer. Can they try and turn anything from this one? No, because Ambition gets hooked out by Madlife.
After this first match, Thresh was banned by Blaze for the rest of the series.
But they're taking quite a bit longer on this last one.
Because I think they're Singed or somebody else. Yeah.
Thresh.
He left both of them.
Madlife did land some very important hooks in those early game fights.
This tournament's not just way better than the current league system. Oh, they're way more hype. They're way more hype.
And I mean, later on, yes, they were very, very strong, but still, he landed some big
people
hooks,
loved.
They've also taken away that.
People loved these tournaments, man, and it was so cool as a player to just go into different tournaments all over the world. Like you'd go and you'd scrim for like 2-3 weeks. There'd be a new huge patch. You'd come up with your own take on the patch, and then you'd go and play versus teams from all around the world, and everyone would have different meta reads. And I thought it was so cool to like actually have a strategic element where now everyone just plays the whole thing, the same thing,
Thresh from Madlife.
Thresh ban, no big surprise.
Frost lost the series 1-3, with Madlife collecting another loss in the finals of a tournament. This was his first time playing Thresh in pro play, so he didn't really have a reputation on the champion yet. Even though Frost lost to Blaze, the fans' perspective on Madlife didn't diminish. If anything, it grew. In current league, if there's some event to hype up or some new trailer releasing for a pro event, Riot is probably putting Faker as the main character. Well, Madlife was seen as the final boss of the LCK, and the trailer for OGN Spring 2013 even showed it.
These were so cool, bro. The old fucking... Oh man, this was so fucking cool. Reaper Macnoon. Macnoon was my homie, by the way. Like, my actual homie. That guy was such a bro.
To put into perspective just how popular Madlife had grown, it was at this time that Riot announced their first All-Star event in Shanghai. It was ridiculously hyped and was taken way more seriously by the players than the All-Star events of later years. This event had 5 teams from around the world, 1 team for each region, and the winning region would get an extra spot at Worlds. The best part was that the teams were decided through a public vote, with league fans deciding...
This was such a cool... Bro, All-Stars was so cool. All-Stars was such an insane thing where you just get like a pickup team of the best players in your region to play versus pickup teams from like, not pickup teams, but you know what I mean, like fan votes decide on the best team, and then that represents your region, and it actually matters, so everyone had to try hard for their lives. This was such a fucking sick thing. How the did we go from this to the banner ceremony? This was such a cool time, bro. Then the other All-Stars just ended up sucking.
In who the representatives were for each role in each region. Looking at the teams from back then is really...
Damn, look at the teams. You get 2 players from TSM, Skara, Saint, Double Lift. Like, this was a fucking team, bro. And they boot camped in the Curse House. So I like helped them with their boot camp before All-Stars, because this is when I was banned, but I lived with Curse. So they all came to the Curse House. We just all like hung out for a week, did our own thing, and they went and competed and embarrassed North America.
Nostalgic,
and
shows
good
how
times,
differently
bro. It was good times. I love this shit.
League used to be.
My name is Marcus Darius Hill. I've been chosen by the people to be the top laner.
I play for North America in the All-Star match.
I'm playing support for the NA All-Star team.
I got picked up as a jungler for All-Stars.
I'm also playing on the All-Star team. I have 55% of mid lane vote. I feel like I could even run for presidency, maybe get more votes than the Green Party at this point.
My dad started a campaign, Vote for Darius, and my fans went crazy.
I've always respected these players. I've always wanted to play with
Just felt like there was so many more fans, bro. Like even when you see these things where they're like, actually, viewership is up in the LEC, it just doesn't feel real. You know, like it's like, okay, maybe if you have like co-streamers and people that maybe more people are watching, but they care less, this shit felt insanely popular, bro. It is just a feeling like, and even if you look at followers, you know, if you were big around this time and you got selected for All-Stars, you were gaining like probably 100,000 followers in a couple weeks. Like these people ended up insanely popular, maybe 75,000, whatever. Like when I played in LCS, I wasn't even on the best team and I wasn't an absurdly popular player or anything. Maybe in 2014, 2015, maybe I was like the 12th most popular player out. I mean, I would have to think about the players. Like everyone on TSM was more popular besides Ferg Special at that time. Doublelift, Afro were definitely more popular. Piglet was more popular on my team. Like maybe I was, let's just say I'm like the 15th most popular player in the league out of 50 players. And I got 100,000 followers on Twitter in, I think a year and a half. I got 100,000 followers on Twitter. Now you have people like Yike who played for the best team in EU for 2 years on G2, won 7 championships, then went to KC, the most popular team in terms of fan base, and he has 65,000 followers, and he's now in his 3rd year. And he had followers before that when he was playing in Alpha. I mean, he obviously didn't have many, but maybe he had 5,000 when he started. Like, it felt so much more popular back then.
You know, a TSM member, a DIG member, just see what it's like.
I assume that it'll probably be Sane and Scar making the shot calls.
Each person has a role in their team, and I guess like the only people you call shot callers in the team are like me or Scar.
If you didn't play League back in 2013, the Korean team is going to be very different than you might expect. Obviously, Faker was mid lane, right? It was his debut season after all, and it was a vote by fans.
No,
well, this was a time before Faker had any prestige. He had no titles and little experience. Even though everyone knew Faker was going to be special, Ambition from CJ Entus Blaze was seen as a much more experienced player.
투표로 진행한다 그래서 자신감이 있었고요. 제가 아니면 또 누굴 뽑겠어요.
You won't be surprised to hear that Madlife was the support for the Korean team. But that's not all. Yep. Madlife received 80% of votes, the highest percentage of votes across all players.
Damn, look at it. Saint got 48%, Doublelift 46, Xpecial 40, Scara 55. Holy, man, holy. And then I remember Wicked and Soaz did a 1v1 to decide it. That was so hype. It was like 150,000 viewers or something on a 1v1 on Wicked's channel where he played a 1v1 versus Soaz. Maybe it was like 100,000. I don't really remember. Maybe 115. Who knows? Damn, it was so fucking hype. Holy shit.
All roles across all regions, and it wasn't remotely close.
서포터로도 캐리어 될 수 있다. 앞으로 이 매드라이프가 계속 심어드리도록 하겠습니다.
They haven't picked their support.
Count on Madlife, dudes.
Yeah, and even though Madlife doesn't play a huge amount of Janna just beats Udyr. That's just one of the worst possible things you can play against. We'll see if they decide to go with something crazy. Lulu's not that great either. Yeah. Against Udyr. Lulu's great.
Against Udyr. With the slow. With the glitter lance is what we're talking about. However, Madlife is going to say, you know what, Udyr? You come running at me, I'm just going to pull you straight in there and destroy you. He is going to be picking up that Blitzcrank. What he's really became famous for, I guess we could say in there. Obviously that really extends past Blitzcrank at this point.
Set Insect back just a little bit there.
Alex, the damage coming in here on towards Madlife. Oh, one of them pulls him in there, he's exhausted. The heal comes up and Lee's hit comes in from the side.
They should be able to get this turret. I mean, Europe is going to have to fight at some point, but there's no way it's going to work out well.
Making their way down to the side lane. Oh, fight on Doublelift. Doublelift has to cleanse right away. The attack from Madlife. Oh, they flashed in for the time.
Damn. This is when the swaps where the duos went mid, bro. It's so crazy. The swaps used to be that the duos went mid. What is LCL? Oh, Korean League of Legends Champions League? League of Legends Champions League. That looks so ugly, bro. NALCS looks kind of clean. I mean, it should just be like LCS, but KRLCL, ugh.
First blood! Absolutely beautiful play by Madlife, proving himself the all-star. If Jungle Pressure does start, Ambition gets away easily, Scar does not. Oh,
Doublelift running it. Hell yeah.
Very easy kill.
My goat.
He didn't have a support there and playing way too aggressive.
Who the f wants to play Lulu Ezreal? What is this lane?
And they take him down before he can get out. Also forcing the flash.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Madlife flash with that one, that was amazing. But it's still hitting the entire enemy team.
Oh, there's a flash! The execution goes in! They are gonna try to get on a safe Vicious, and they do take him down! Dyrus hopefully not watching these guys dance around in middle, because he is just on the other side! From the red buff, Dyrus gets locked up, and it comes down first blood for Ambition! again.
Holy, they got completely shot on.
There's the flash hook, one more after the other. It's Madlife this time. The box goes down. They're trying to put him right under here. St. Vicious still right next to the side. The play's been used, so Madlife there again for the lantern assist to come in. Prey picking himself up, a kill of the game.
Korea crushed every region at the tournament and won 6-0. This also meant that Korea would have an extra spot at World Season 3 later that year. Before moving on though, if you're a newer player, you might have noticed something a little off in those clips. Back in 2013, you could flash while in the windup of Thresh hook. And it's very likely that Madlife's showcase of this at All-Stars 2013 is the entire reason why it was removed from the game. See, All-Stars finished on May 26th, and just over 2 weeks later, on June 13th, it was patched out of the game. After losing to Blaze in the finals of IEM on June 13th, it was
they called it a bug fix.
Patched out of the game. After losing to Blaze in the finals of IEM, longtime ADC of the team, Woong, left the team. But throughout Champions 2013 summer, Madlife was feared. When you watch games from back then, it's very common to see teams ban.
I remember I thought this Space guy was fucking terrible.
Both Thresh and
I was
Blitzcrank
not a CJ Space fan.
When playing against Frost,
GBM ganked my mom. Holy shit, GBM was on the team.
To keep them away from Madlife. And that is exactly what KT Bullets did. Double Madlife bans, 3-0 sweeping Frost. Then in the third place match, Frost would face off against MVP Ozone. And this happened.
Wait, who were the three from Korea that year? It was MVP Ozone. Wait, is it MVP Ozone? Yeah, it was MVP Ozone made this tournament, plus Najin Blacksword, and then SKT, obviously.
Be the rookie season of their support player, who, as it would turn out, had a very bright future ahead, Mata.
He has exceptional map control in terms of his vision warding as well. And the only other support in the world that can ward the map as efficiently as Madlife is now Mata, maybe, from MVP Ozone.
And also the MVP of the World Championship Finals of 2014. It's going to be Mata.
In their first match, Ozone beat Frost decisively, picking Thresh and banning Blitz. Game 2, Ozone banned both, but Frost won. Game 3 and 4, Blitz banned, Thresh first pick, 1 win for Frost, 1 win for Ozone. Game 5 though, no ban phase. This is because back then, for tiebreak
blind pick, bro. Blind pick game 5. Kind of hype. It was novel, bro.
Matches, the draft was blind. This resulted in 2 Zeds in the mid lane and a Thresh mirror in the bot lane. It was extremely exciting to see very strong players playing their very best champions against each other. During this match, Frost had a strong lead. They were up 5,000 gold in 26 minutes, and it seemed like it was going to be a hard-earned win for Azubu to end a brutal best-of-5 series. All that Frost had left to do was take Baron and end the game, right?
You can't keep getting away with it!
Dandy stole Baron, and Ozone pushed down mid lane, winning the match and the series, while still down 1,000 gold. Najin Blacksword and MVP Ozone were the 2 teams to qualify for Worlds 2013, as they had enough circuit points. There was 1 spot left for another Korean team to go to Worlds though, the very same spot that the region had won at the All-Star event earlier.
It wasn't these motherfuckers that got it.
In the year. The team that wanted that spot would have to win at the regional finals. And the regional finals were highly anticipated for a very good reason. The 4 teams competing were CJ Entus Frost, CJ Entus Blaze, KT Bullets, and SK Telecom T1. The first match of this tournament was a tiebreaker match, featuring Frost versus KT. I want to take a moment here to say, in this video, I have mentioned many times how often Madlife was banned out. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, the VODs for a lot of these incredibly iconic, hugely hyped old games are completely gone. This means that until now, I haven't really been able to show you too many clips of just how bad this got. But luckily, the VODs are available for these matches. I also wanted to mention that there are large parts of the commentary that I can't include here because they were actually playing My Chemical Romance as the background music for most of the event. Frost being shown on screen while I'm Not Okay plays louder than the commentators are speaking is a little surreal. I respect it, they're real for it.
Wait, is this what I was? Wait. Hold up. I just noticed. Wait, was I like a featured player in this matchup? Because they showed our team and I wanted to just check other people's ratings. But I remember that because I played like a really good Alistar game, was this like a feature, bro? Because they only showed me and my rating and then they just went into like the matchups of the draft. Wait, that's sick, no? People thought I was good at the game at a point. What the holy shit, what dumbasses, bro. I don't know. I scammed them.
Does also mean that I can't include some parts due to copyright issues. That said, just listen to the casters talk about the Madlife situation in this clip. Cool. This is the first match of the first series of the 2013 region.
The 1989 finals. Casual, just say it, bro. You're jealous. I got to play in LCK. Like, you could have got to fondle all these players IRL if you played in LCK. Like you do on stream on a daily basis, bro. You could have done it. But you were busy. Actually, you're probably like 10 years old at this point. But you know what, bro? I got the experience. I got to be fondled by the Korean players. It was insane.
Finals.
It is mind-blowing, though, to think that out of Madlife, Faker, in second flame, we will only see one of these players.
It's coaching in the LCK next year. Yes. The Domwon offer, it's coming through. Hey, you can coach Domwon. Hey, Kadril, I gotta be honest, if you coach Domwon, I'm gonna have to keep on hate watching Domwon. Like, just because I like you, they're not getting a pass. That team is pathetic.
Actually, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, that just shows you how competitive Korea is. Picks and bans for game number 1, the tiebreaker match here for the LoL Season 3 World Championship Korea Finals. KT Bullets versus CJ Frost, and they're right away, those two support bans. No shock.
No,
no shock at all.
This is
Madlife.
The KT Bullets strategy, and they take out Zyra too.
So I love that. I love that people are just hitting CJ Frost where it hurts. Look at Madlife. You saw Zyra get banned off. He kind of sighed a bit. Yeah.
Oh, they're going to take Lee Sin. Lee Sin is actually up. They took out.
Wait, the vibes, bro. The music.
You know, Kakao's good on Lee Sin, but I'd be a little bit surprised because Cloud Templar is not a Lee Sin player. So
this is so ahead. It's so peak, bro. Right, it's so peak. Esports was so fucking cool back then.
Offer Madlife.
Look at how they massacred my boy. Look at how they massacred my boy. Now we got the fucking banner ceremony. Hey, take this off your banner and put it on the other banner. They're like, what the is this? Like, how do I take it off? Oh, yeah, okay, it's on my banner. What does that mean, bro? Like, holy shit. They ruined something that was so fucking special, man.
Sona, I fully expected the KT Bullets to pick up Sona.
The strategy was to use all 3 bans on Madlife, and then also use first pick to deny a 4th support champion. The casters were even surprised to see that they let Madlife have Sona, and even then, it was only because Lee Sin was left on the table.
You take care of Madlife in the picks and bans, and then you take care of Cloud Templar
Such
in-game.
a cool time in League.
And not only that,
because okay, so the context of All-Stars was that Insec actually, like, Madlife was obviously super hyped or whatever, but one of the people that got the most credit for that performance was Insec. He was playing Lee Sin, and that's when he was doing the Insec. He had done it before, but this was the first time where people realized just how OP being able to ward jump kick somebody was. And after All-Stars, every solo queue player just started learning how to ward jump kick. Everyone just started to learn the Insec. And it was like a bar that you needed to reach as a jungler to be considered good. Like, if you didn't have a good Lee Sin, you weren't able to insect somebody, you might as well not even fucking play at this point.
It also reveals a lot of the problems with CJ Frost.
Oh, totally, yeah.
In terms of their mid laner as well.
KT's strategy of focusing everything on Madlife worked, and they won the first match. In the second, they used the same strategy again.
KT Bullets will mirror their triple support ban. I'm sure Blitz and Thresh will be off the table.
Yeah,
but Frost, will they go ahead and take that first pick support? That will leave up some pretty important champions for the KT Bullets if they decide to do that.
Right away, there we see the Thresh and Blitzcrank bans. They still did leave Sona open for Madlife if he wants it, and it's still a good champion, but it's not like a carry support. It's not a big playmaking support. Yeah, you've got Flash Crescendo, but that's a relatively small amount of time you can do that compared to Rocket Grab.
I'm reacting like we're not gonna let. Hey,
Kadril. On that combination of abilities, not reliable, even though Madlife is a fantastic Sona player.
31 minutes into the game, the teams were exactly even, but
get the style points for the dunk anyway.
And Mafa.
Yeah, you're an Ari Magnet.
Mafa.
CJ Frost going to try to go for this Baron here. No vision right now for the KT Bullets. In fact,
this is when supports were still completely broke. 32 minutes into the game, the supports have a Sight Stone, a Philosopher's Stone, and boots. And then they're just, this guy's sitting on an Oracles, and this guy, ooh, Madlife's pretty ahead. He's got an extra Ruby Crystal. You never know, bro. You never know.
Have no idea that this is happening. I think they may have a bit of a suspicion, but
I love this game, bro.
There it is, a Baron.
I love League back then.
So fast, dog.
Yeah, they are, but Game by Mob, he's ready. KT needs to be careful. A 3-man Cataclysm. Score gets out, though. Valkyrie over the wall. Mafa doesn't get a chance to use his ultimate. Dies too quickly.
Oriana ult, okay.
Shockwave sets up a kill for Kakao. Score in the backline doing lots of damage. Space doing a bit himself. Someday needs to run away. Shy all over them. A double kill for Space and an ace. We've got ourselves a tie, and we are going to the blind pick game 3.
Frost 7-1 in blind pick.
You heard the casters right. Of the 8 times Frost was in a blind pick tiebreaker, they won 7 of them. And you already know why. If teams couldn't dedicate up to 3 bans and sometimes a first pick on top of that just to stop Madlife, he would probably carry the game from the support role. In case you're curious or having doubts, Madlife was the only support player generating this type of attention. Blitzcrank was banned in 5 games at the finals. That's because Madlife played 5 games at the finals. For context, these matches were being played in September of 2013. Madlife's last pro game on Blitzcrank was in May. Before that was January. At this point in his career, he had played Blitzcrank for only 12 pro matches in total. Not that—
Bro, to watch these games, OGN 2013, you used to have to get a subscription. You used to have to buy a $5 subscription to be able to watch the VODs. So fucking worth, bro. So fucking worth. Some of the best money I ever spent. I used the out of that subscription. I watched every match.
Season, but in his career. I want to stress, this wasn't a support issue. Blitzcrank was not a problem. Madlife was. For Champions 2013 summer, Blitz was only banned 7 times in total, across all 80 games. And every single time he was banned, it was against Madlife. And as for his Thresh of Madlife—
Oh yeah, and you got— that's true. Chad is right about this. You used to get 720p. If not, you'd get 480. So you get to watch the stream in a higher quality. Damn, bro. This shit was so hype. Oh, man.
His first 11 matches on him, he won 10. So far, since Thresh's release, Madlife had played him 18 times. He won 13 of those games, and of the 5 he lost, 3 were against their sister team. And Madlife was about to make that record even better.
Picks and only picks for our 3rd and final game of the night.
It's another game. WTF 2 Zeds. WTF 2 Shens.
That's right. And if Zed pops
WTF 2 Shens, the original meme.
Total.
That's right.
So what the 2 Shens?
Gaggle of ninjas.
2 just output substantially more damage. Someday gets a little bit caught here in the mid lane, though.
1v4 here. He needs to get away. Can he do it? There's a flash hook. Gets flashed as well, though. Barely
Someday respected
out of range. Oh, man. That is what's so terrifying about Madlife, because you saw how exactly on point that hook was. Someday coming up right now, it's going to be 1v3. He needs to be very careful. Madlife is there for the hook. Where is it? It's so close. Waiting for that opportunity through the minions. Waiting for Someday to push a little bit farther up. The turret is still there. Oh, man.
They know where Zed is. They don't know where these 3 members are.
Someday's got to be a little bit nervous about pushing up here. He sees it.
The old Shen Q.
Ace has that red buff. There's the hook. They come in onto Someday. Everything. The fear.
We don't look at the flay. Don't look at the flay, bro. Don't think about the flay. It was such a nice hook.
As well, Space poking away with that red buff. Someday trying to taunt, but the exhaust is down. Someday, well, today is the death for him. Not going to be Someday. Get it? Because it's today.
You really have to admire Madlife's
I get it. I do get it.
Waiting for the absolute perfect hook.
Let's take a look at that replay of this gank, this very patient gank from CJ.
Just Madlife with Thresh. This is why we
Why did he not take the hook here? Because the tech was that you could extend the hook duration by like a fraction of a second if you pressed Q again at the end, and then you'd flay them.
Just
but
always
okay,
believe
all
that
good.
Madlife is God. Split pushing himself. Ryu has to go back, and this is going to be a lost turret.
Yep. Indeed. Oh wow, they catch Someday with that death sentence. Goodbye.
We are on patch
2.10a
3.10a tonight, guys. Of course. As you're seeing right now, so that's the reason.
Oh, that's a big reason. Plays like that are why we always see Thresh banned against Madlife right now. There's a surrender. GG, and CJ Frost wins the tiebreaker and wins themselves that 2nd rank in the gauntlet.
This win against KT meant that Frost would be playing against either Blaze or KT again in the semifinals, with the winning team of that match playing against SKT T1 to determine who was going to Worlds. At this point in Madlife's career, there was some criticism about Frost as a team. The general idea was that Madlife was being held back. And in 2012 and 2013, League was starting to explode in popularity. New talent was showing up, and the scene as a whole was rapidly improving.
Apparently he didn't say that, by the way. That was something that people always quoted, but apparently Faker didn't say that Hotshot GG was better than him on LeBlanc. He said that he said something about Hotshot GG having like a really good LeBlanc or something. So
if Frost was
just some mistranslations, but all good.
ever going to have another shot at winning Worlds, this would surely be it. Many players felt that what determined
does that guy still have me blocked?
if Frost was going to win their matches or not was if Madlife
point,
could carry it. He was the only support with this kind of pressure on him, with the expectation to carry. And the thing about Madlife was he actually could carry, but KT wasn't going to give him the chance.
It's only been about 6-7 years of him having me blocked. I don't know, bro. I don't know why I keep on, like why I've been banned from co-streaming or I have so many problems with Riot. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Somebody just doesn't like me over there. That's for sure.
Going down immediately now. I assume we're going to see the Thresh and Blitzcrank bans. These were the bans that KT Bullets innovated against Frost.
I also think he doesn't like the fact that I refer to him as Marky Mark, you know?
In the semifinals to prevent Madlife from carrying. Now, if this goes to a Game 5 tonight, and Madlife could get his hands
But that's just like a term of endearment, you know? I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to make a playful, happy relationship with him, but he's just not buying it.
One of those really powerful, pick-oriented playmaking supports. We may see a Frost victory. I think Game 5 is very dangerous for the Bullets.
To put into perspective how ridiculous it got in the
next... You guys don't know okay, so the lore on Mark Merrill having me blocked is... So people know that Riot had that $100 million lawsuit, right? The $100 million sexism lawsuit where it was like alleged that they were like farting in their employees like faces and stuff, and like there was apparently like people like touching each other's balls in the workplace. Like there was just like a huge thing that came out. It was like a Kotaku article where they talked about all the sexism that had been going on at Riot Games. It was a huge deal. And then right after that came out, he tweeted out something like, "Don't stop being a good person because of bad people." Like that's what he tweeted out, and it was like right after this lawsuit dropped, which I thought was really weird to say when the company that you founded just got sued for $100 million. So I like tweeted something where I'm like, as like tone deaf or some shit like that. I forget what I tweeted, but I was like, yeah, like this is like a fucking weird thing to say at this point, whatever. And then he responded to me before he blocked me, and he deleted this afterwards, but he said, "Congratulations on having a career based off a free game that we made." So he just like shit on content creators and people that have a career in his game, where like in reality, a lot of the reason that the game became popular was because of like streaming culture and because of like the players that invested time into the game. So it's kind of just a way for him to just show like, who he really is and how he sees viewers and how he sees players and content creators and all this type of stuff. Like, congrats on having a career based off a free game that we made. He said this, and then he just fucking blocked me.
Match, KT actually left Zed and Thresh up in the ban phase. This was Season 3, and Zed was seen as extremely strong at this point. He was 100% picker ban for the tournament.
Let me see if I can find the tweet.
The reason KT left Zed unbanned was specifically so that Frost would feel obligated to first pick it instead of Thresh. This way, KT would be able to pick Thresh, denying 4 champions from Madlife, despite them not even being first pick. Madlife's Thresh was seen as a bigger issue by KT than Zed was going to be when played by either of Frost's laners.
Is that final ban going to be Thresh? Are they going to leave Sona open for a first pick? Madlife is looking very comfortable on that, but not a carry support need. They're going to ban Sona.
They have a plan.
What is Madlife going to play? I mean, no Fiddlesticks, Zyra, Sona,
Oh, this is what it was. This is what it was. This is what it was. I found it. Never stop being a good person because of bad people. This is literally like right after this. And he says, and then I said, just sucks when bad people work for the company that your career is based off of. And then he deleted this because like the comments were like, he's getting quote retweeted and everything. Congrats on having a career revolving around a free game that we made. Here it is. Here's the interaction, bro. And it was before this, Mark Merrill and I, the context is I already like didn't like him. And I knew about a lot of this stuff within the company. And it was like, there was bad shit going on. And there was the more context was, I think there was this guy named Scott Gelb or something, but it was like somebody that was that had these accusations, didn't even get fired. They were like put on like administrative leave for a couple months, and then they came back and worked for it. Like it was just like super weird how the whole thing was handled. But yeah.
Alistar, an option, but usually something Madlife only pulls out on special occasions.
I have to give some props to the KT.
What was this? This was 2019. This is like August of 2019. And yeah, I mean, like, bro, it's like there was just like a lot of bad people at that company. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. And there was a lot of people that were just bad people that got fired over the years. But there was this thing in Riot where it wasn't like, so the majority of people that you interact with Riot, and I don't even know how like any of the higher ups anymore, so I don't know if this still applies, but at the time it was like the people you interacted with on a daily basis were fucking great. All the people that worked at LCS, all the casters, all the production people, everyone was great. And then you'd have these motherfuckers that would be put in these positions of power. And these guys would literally just, like, Jason Katz, bro. Jason Katz. He was somebody who was like against the player walkout. So he went to CS eventually and, you know, started ruining that. But he came in. This guy was a piece of shit, bro. It is what it is. And then if you go and like look at his tweets, like he spends all his time just tweeting. I guess these are old, but he spent his all his time tweeting about like Trump support, and then talking about like how I remember just going through these about how like COVID was like fake, or that like vaccines were like bad, where it's like, dude, I can understand that people have issues with the COVID vaccine because it was a newer vaccine, but saying that all vaccines are bad when vaccines have just extended human life and made it so you don't die of things like polio and shit when you're 5 years old. Saying that vaccines are inherently bad and no one should ever get vaccinated for anything, I think is a absolutely retarded place to be starting a conversation. He was just posting like a bunch of these rates, but yeah, this guy became like higher up in Riot. He just came in, around, did terrible shit. He was the guy that actually got me banned. He was the guy that banned me, talked to me, treated me like complete shit the entire time. Like, it wasn't like a good relationship at all. Like, the way that I was banned was all fucked up. And then he kept on, he's like, oh yeah, we'll unban you in the middle of the season, right? So I started playing support to get ready to play support for Team Curse. This is before they got Edward, right? They were looking for a support. Rux was a support. Elements was a support before that. They thought that I would be better, so I was going to roll swap to support. And then he was just like, actually, like, yeah, you invested months into this, but actually we're going to keep you banned because we think that it would look bad on Riot if we unbanned you and gave you like a lighter punishment at this point. It was just so fucked up. I hated this motherfucker.
But by taking away that Thresh, they got basically another free support takeaway from Madlife right here.
Well, shutting down Madlife with these support bans has been just kind of...
Free support bans, support pick.
The Achilles heel for CJ Frost.
Frost was down 4,000 gold in 24 minutes, but that changed after a catch on Shy.
They need to make a pick. They need to catch someone on the edge, and that's what they're going to do.
Oh, they're going to try. Yeah, Kakao gets caught, takes a ride out on the Lantern, rather. Now Cloud Templar in the Dragon Pit, a little bit trapped here, getting very low. Insect comes down in case the rest...
Mafa. We got to hit those.
...them engaged. Shy on the outside of the fight, just poking with the Q. Takes a lot of damage. There we go. They're going to get
TikTok
Shy.
at it.
And KT with a big edge already. Shy looks a little bit uncomfortable on.
There you go. There's the TikTok edit.
On Zed as well, I think.
That was beautiful, bro. I hit that. I killed that.
Zed before, but not hit a little bit.
Yeah.
And I agree. He doesn't look very comfortable.
Shy was actually missed a bit. And there goes the turret. And Shy gets hit with the Fizzle.
That's how the song goes, bro. That was perfect. That was beautiful.
KT targeted Madlife again in the ban phase for the second match, and Frost collected a second loss. Now down 0-2, Frost's weakness was clear, and KT used their original strategy again.
I think we can assume that Thresh and Blitzcrank...
My ears are bleeding. You're welcome.
The chopping block this time around. So. They may repeat their bans in game 1, where they left both Thresh and Zed open, in order to force a decision to be made from CJ Frost. Look at this, the Thresh is up, so they're forcing that Zed Thresh decision. And
Zed Thresh decision.
They're choosing Zed, apparently. They believe...
Should have just first picked Thresh overall, because you have one human being on your team at this point. GG. I mean, Cloud Templar was like falling off mechanically at this point. I think, was this his last season? I think Cloud Templar retired after this, right? Season 3? Cloud Templar was like a tank jungler. That's how I saw him.
That Zed is too dangerous on Ryu.
With the type of plays that Madlife can make on Thresh too, I frankly am a little bit surprised that they would go with the Zed instead, especially because, yeah, you keep it away from Ryu, but it just seems like Frost as a team relies so much on Madlife making those plays.
The reactions from the casters when Frost chose to give away Madlife's Thresh 2 times across 3 games in one of the most important series of their entire career really says it all.
GBM with the bow tie, holy I forgot about the bow tie.
On Janna, in one of the most important games CJ Frost has ever played. Departing from the usual.
I'm trying to dig through my memory, though, and I don't ever remember seeing Madlife play Janna.
I cannot remember an occasion either where I've seen that. Shy, very low, backs off right now. There's Requiem, though. Oh, barely doesn't finish off Shy. One more slice of dice could do it, though, from Insect. Kakao chasing away Cloud Templar. The chase continues up in the top
Riot
lane.
is just not showing the bot lane fight.
Shy, very low. Oh, wow,
all right,
they get off
Madlife
in
must
the
have
bot
smurfed on
lane.
them.
Even though Madlife wasn't known for his Janna play, and even though they had to go against the Thresh Caitlyn lane, Frost still won the bot lane matchup. 18 minutes in, KT had a slight lead, but things once again got worse after a botched Zed play.
Gank by Mom coming in.
Nice, we just first picked Zed so that the Zed could run it down in 2 different roles in 2 different games. Well played.
And they're going to try to push this mid lane turret.
Yeah, nice reverse pushing up from Frost.
Here they go. Death mark down on the score in the back lines. Gank by Mom is there. Gets pulled away though with that death sentence. They do actually take out Gank by Mom. Score barely lives. And now CJ on the run again. Cacao, there's the ghost. Pops the ultimate. Goodbye, Shy.
Shy just stepped in a turret right there. Should have seen that one coming.
That play
See, tell me that was not exactly what I was saying. That was perfect.
lost Frost the turret, and shortly after, this happened.
Just out of sync enough to cause these problems.
He also helped in the play calls.
Oh, absolutely. There's Deathmark on the insect. They're going to wrap him up. Paranoia coming across the top 2. KT has to respond to Arrow, preventing Cacao from getting in.
Bro,
Insect
auto attack
is so
space.
tanky, though. Wow, what can they do?
Auto attack, brother.
Nice
You have a
Spirit
Janna
Fire
right
forcing
next
every-
to you. Hit them.
Buddy back, ace in the hole. A big
Nah, bro. He doesn't hit them when he can hit them.
chunk out
Oh,
of
no.
space. Ryu gets pushed back. Shy getting into the back lines on the score. Madlife, everybody else on
Bro,
the
at 20 minutes, look at the Ash items. At 20 minutes, look at the Ash
pushed
items.
back.
20 minutes. He had 3 mana potions, an IE, a pickaxe, and Berserker Greaves. Oh, it was a simpler time.
Shy getting into the back lines on the score. Madlife, everybody else on the run. Insect coming in. All that AoE. Cloud Templar has to get out. Shy goes down.
And Maffa will barely live. Requiem trying to finish him off. Cloud Templar takes a hit. Insect comes in under the turret and
It's
Q's
a one
Sunfire Renekton
Wow,
is 2 OP.
Madlife lives through it too. They're not done yet. Gank by Mom. Still has that damage. Takes down Nasus, but eventually gets taken down himself.
Insect's Renekton was a terror in this game, and there was pretty much nothing Frost could do to deal with him. Even through Zed ult, Nocturne ult, and a full collapse, they could do nothing. Frost lost another turret and a dragon, falling very far behind. For the rest of the match, Insect's Renekton could do whatever he wanted. Ninja Tabby, Sunfire Cape, and Ranuans were just too much. Frost actually did catch KT's score out of place and had a chance to come back, but KT was so far ahead by this point that they just fought Frost 4v5 without an 80 carry.
Cacao coming over the top, gets hit with a whirlwind. Insect so tanky. There's Ryu. Shy jumping onto him right now. Insect in the back lines all over space. And Ryu very low, has to back out. He's going to have that Requiem to add in there. Insect, there we go, gets the kill. Onto space, here comes Requiem. A nice whirlwind from Madlife, but a double kill for Ryu.
Even fighting 5v4, Frost couldn't win. After that fight, KT did Baron and basically just walked in on Frost until the game was over.
But Insect still hot on the heels of Madlife and Gank by Mom. Finally turning around, has the Lantern out as well. Actually spams
laugh there.
Insect.
Oh, Insect. Insect is maybe not the Mach Noon we wanted right now, but maybe the Mach Noon we deserve.
Good disengage from Frost, actually. Not to over pursue.
Flash wall. Ooh, they want this bad. There's a Wither on Cloud Templar as well, just trying to get those picks. Layways coming in as well. Cloud Templar down to about half health. And there's a great death sentence coming in. And they've got him with the box
so
too.
broken
Maffa,
back then.
Cacao.
Thresh is a champion that I just wish was like played more. I wish the champions like Thresh were stronger overall because I feel like it's a very cool support. I mean, over time, people just realized how to play it so well that it's pretty much unplayable until later games of Fearless. If there wasn't Fearless, we'd literally like never see the champion.
Trap, Gank by Mom backing off. They do get Cloud Templar. And now they're just setting it up for this turret. Whoa, Gank by Mom.
Damn.
Huge ace in the hole there.
And Insect just runs through the base.
Oh, hi.
Trying to
The
make as
support
aggressive a
Nasus, the
play
shit
as
was, or
possible.
the
He knows
jungle
that's
Nasus, the
probably
shit
not
was so OP, bro.
go down right
Wants
here.
to get
Gets
back on
right
the Nasus.
onto space.
Exactly in space. Can he even get
Another
to the
one,
turret
bro.
in
Come on. All
time?
right, bro. All right.
No.
Enough.
No, he can't. A double
Enough
kill.
with the
This
edit.
loss and the failure of Frost to make it to Worlds in 2013 is often seen as the start of the team's downfall. You can read the reaction threads from around this time and the community sentiment is clear. There was a lot of criticism towards toward all members of Frost. With Madlife absorbing 3 target bans and also a first pick for them, players felt that the rest of the team should have been able to have more of an impact. Zed, for example, was a highly contested pick, but KT was glad to hand over Zed, even when Ryu was known for his Zed play, specifically because it meant that they could deny Thresh from Madlife. Even though this was Faker's rookie season and Worlds hadn't even started yet, people were already calling him the best player in the world. Less than a year ago, that was Madlife. Speaking of Faker though, everyone knows what happened next in Season 3. SKT defeated KT Bullets and won the right to go to Worlds 20.
Bro, this is the Faker that I was like, I just thought this is the Faker that people tried to tell me that Faker is now, where it's like, dude, he was actually like a god at this point. It was just crazy.
13. It's worth noting.
I mean, no one had ever seen a player like this. It was absolutely insane.
Noting that this is the spot that the Korean team won at All-Stars for their region. That All-Stars team had 2 players from Frost on it, 1 player from Blaze, and 1 from KT Bullets, but no one from SKT. SKT ended up earning that spot at Worlds, and then also went on to win Worlds from the 3rd seed placement. The explosion in talent in League's pro scene continued throughout 2014, and Frost got overshadowed. Between Season 3 and 4, original jungler Cloud Templar and mid laner Rapid Star both retired and started coaching instead. During the winter 2014 season, CJ Frost would once more play against MVP Ozone, this time in the quarterfinals. This put Madlife, the player who was known for redefining the support role, against Mata, who many now considered to be better than him and maybe even the best support overall. Across all 3 matches, there were no Thresh or Blitzcrank bans drawn by Madlife. They let him pick whatever he wanted. 2 games on Thresh and 1 on Blitzcrank. They still lost 0-3 in the series. In all 3 games, Mata played Leona. Then in the spring 2014 season, Frost...
Bro, it was so unplayable though. He was just getting like new players every single time. I watched so many of these games, but I mean, I just never rated their players. Like GBM, Swift became good later on, but he wasn't good earlier on. And then Space, I always thought Space was bad.
Played against Samsung Blue in the quarterfinals, losing 1-3. To make things even worse, during Champions Summer 2014, for the very first time in history, Frost failed to make it out of groups, and so did Blaze. This meant that both teams didn't get to compete at the regional finals, and their season was over. Meanwhile, at Worlds 2014, MVP Ozone had a new name, Samsung White. And you probably do know that name because they won Worlds 2014, and Mata got his Worlds title.
Samsung White are the 2014 World Champions!
Things went from bad to worse for Frost and Blaze in 2015 because they were forced to merge. New rules meant that sister teams were no longer allowed, and as a result, the CJ Entus teams had to disband and form just 1 team between them. While CJ Entus was definitely not a fair team anymore, and Madlife himself was now getting overshadowed,
Ambition role swap, okay, yeah, I remember this.
Reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, this is Season 5, I remember.
When he locked in Blitzcrank during LCK's 2015 spring season.
Oh, and Madlife locks in Blitzcrank. Oh, yeah.
It's happening. Madlife with Thresh and Blitzcrank on the screen right there. Little cutouts.
It's time.
I love it.
We're going back to the old days, Monty. It's 2 years ago, and Madlife is the god of grab once again. Let's see who the MVP is. Who do you think it's going to be? Obviously, the bloodthirsty of all supports. Madlife. Look at this. Chaser? Yeah, go ahead and Cataclysm. It's fine. I'm Blitzcrank, and I'm being played by Madlife. Yeah, I'll just hop outside the turret. Thanks, Jana.
Yeah, he got blown out.
Look at this.
Damn, he hooked the Xerath that was standing still ulting. Crazy.
I want some kills now. Xerath looks like an easy target.
Just ignite him and punch him right in his face.
Alt onto Shy, no problem. I'm Blitzcrank. I don't even care. I'm going to grab GBM again. Shy's fine. Look at this flash into the Cataclysm. Real Cataclysm is when Madlife shows up on Blitzcrank. Madlife takes one as well, and there's the cleanup. Frozen on the run. There's the flash. Madlife through the wall. Madlife is back.
That was clean.
I don't care what anyone
I want to
says.
do it again. I remember this one.
Cleanup. Frozen on the run. There's the flash.
Madlife
through the wall.
Frozen.
Madlife is back. I don't care what anyone says. You can't tell me. You can't.
Is that Lilac? Holy shit, a Lilac top. They were one of our homies in Korea. This was a homie team. Incredible Miracle. They were a homie team when we were in Korea. They scrimmed us all the time. They were like really nice. Told us where to eat, like, you know, where to go. Helped us out with stuff. They were a cool team. I liked Incredible Miracle. And their mid laner back in the day, Mid King, was one of my good friends, and he was somebody I duo-queued frequently with on the Korean ladder. Yeah, I mean, that was when he was rank 1 and rank 2 on the Korean ladder, bro. His rank 1 account was like 2,800 LP, and then his rank 2 account was like 2,500 LP, like 2,550, and he was by far the best solo queue player, Mid King. What a fucking name. People don't remember Mid King. Damn, look at him. That's my boy right there, Mid King. Incredible miracle. This is when I was there in 2012. Holy shit, what a homie. I was like, he was the one that made it, so I felt like I couldn't get rank 1 when I was in Korea. Like, he was just so far ahead. Like, you would get like 17 points a game, 18 points a game. And I remember, I think I was like maybe like rank 8, rank 9. Wasn't really that close. And I couldn't even get higher than a second account. Like, I mean, I was only there for a month and a half, but there was a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to try to go on a run. But yeah, I just gave up, and then I started duo queuing with him.
Tell me that Madlife isn't back, guys.
Oh,
he was too good.
That is Madlife.
Wow.
Mid
He
King.
can see the Zeroth there, but that does smack of the Madlife of old.
This combined roster actually did make it to the regional finals, and surprisingly, they had another shot at making it to Worlds. Unfortunately for Frost, they lost in the semifinals to Jin Air Green Wings, and for the 3rd year in a row, CJ failed to go to Worlds. While playing with this roster, the idea that Madlife was being held back by his teammates became very common. There was even a meme of it called Space Prison. The team's ADC, Space, who Madlife would play with for 3 years, was viewed as a subpar ADC by many
it's just facts. He just was.
Fans, and he was often accused of holding Madlife back. As a result, people would say that Madlife was being held in Space Prison on CJ Entus.
He was put in Space Prison, and he was still good.
I think Madlife, he's one of those like cursed monkey paw characters where he like made a wish to have insane grab mechanics, but the caveat was, the backlash is you'll never have a good AD carry.
Sorry, Space.
Actually true.
In the 2016 season,
he went from Woong to Space, and Woong was also considered the worst player on that Zubu Frost team at the time.
Madlife was the only player on the team to start in every match, with the team regularly swapping players.
Nice, he aged like 20 years in 5 years of playing with Space, or 3 years of playing with Space. Well played, Space. You ruined his life.
They finished,
and he had to play on Gold Coin United with Loco Doco as a coach, with Santorin and Phoenix in 2016, and he was just completely washed by that point. Maybe it was 2017, actually.
8th place during the spring season, and during summer, CJ Entus got 3 wins and 15 losses, placing in 10th. This was a colossal downfall for CJ Entus. They went from having 2 of the most dominant and legendary teams in League to coming in last place as a combined team. This meant that
GCU
Entus had to play in the 2017 spring promotion tournament, where they were
GCU. Nowadays, that shit would stand for like Get Cancer University, but back then it was Gold Coin United.
Quickly sent to the losers bracket. For those who aren't familiar with what this means, if CJ Entus lost here, they would be relegated from the LCK. It would be the end of their team. Not only that, it would be the first time an original Kespa team was relegated. This was a life or death series for CJ Entus. When the series started, it seemed like CJ Entus was going to perform under pressure. They had a 4,000 gold lead at the 31-minute mark and were up a dragon and a tower. Then this happened.
A little bit dangerous right there, even though they did land the arrow. Kramer is
oh shit, wait, this is a real team, bro. Look at this team. ESC, I remember this team vaguely. This is the team that ended up, they name changed, and they ended up becoming actually pretty good. Crazy played for a while. Bless was legit. Tempt, we still saw. When did Tempt play last? He was playing in like TCL a couple years ago. He was playing last year on Lion's Creed. This guy was playing in NLC last year. Holy shit, competing against Ruddy. Holy shit, bro. Crazy.
Damage, Ace of the Hole comes through, and he is going to get melted out way too far forward by himself, and Kramer goes down. ESC are
ESC ever? Then they became BBQ Olivers, yep.
For the Baron right now.
Well, that was a huge...
Kramer, holy shit, it's Kramer, bro. All these guys. Loken, I mean, Loken obviously became really good on JDG for a while. Can't forget
Loken.
Loken.
Error there by Kramer. Looks like it was just a miscommunication with his team.
I wouldn't say really good. He was kind of like a ghost archetype player, but yeah.
So people were recalling, and he gets easily caught.
I feel like Haru might have to go for this one. He's looking for the engage. It's going to be Sky, and everybody piling into the pit. And ESC, their health bars are just melting out. Temp going low. Shy jumps onto him, finishes him off. Totoro will flash away. They're able to kill Haru and Sky off. Shy on the run, still has the Guardian Angel, might be able to make it out of here with some fancy footwork, but he gets popped up and knocked down here. Crazy looking for the damage. He gets that boom speed buff coming through. They throw out the cannon barrage. And he
the electrocute right gangplank almost killed him there.
Will live. Haru and
not
Sky
electrocute. Thunderlord's Decree. Sorry. Thunderlord's Decree.
but they stopped the Baron.
Despite this, CJ managed to bring it back, growing their gold lead to 7,000 at 37 minutes, even picking up Elder Dragon. It looked like CJ really had a chance at winning. They got Elder Dragon a second time, plus multiple Barons, but they still couldn't push into the enemy base.
55 minutes.
Baron going over to CJ
What a
for
banger.
the third time in the game.
The game continued to drag on for over 60 minutes.
Bro, this tank Echo has a Triforce. What a goat. Everyone else went like Iceborne Gauntlet and Spirit Visage, but he went a Triforce.
Had a 16,000 gold lead, 3 Elder Dragons, and 4 Barons, but were still unable to end the game.
I don't know what's happening in this game either, Monty.
Nobody knows what's happening in this game, Achilles.
CJ doesn't know what's happening in this game. They're like, let's go down the lane. Let's pull back up the lane. Could be it. It's do or die time for both of these teams. They're trying to come out on top, Shy.
Kilios.
Sandra still with the TP.
Squad, Baron down to about half. They lock up Logan with the Ash Hero. TP coming in now on the backside for Sky. Comes into the recall, going to be looking for the in. They lock up Logan. He goes slow. They get him down as well. That's going to be the
Sky got some work done here.
Stay alive, Shy.
You don't win this?
Comes through. It's going to pop his GA. He's going to go down, as does Sky. Bless coming up yet again with the Guardian Angel. Shy having to flash away, but he is going to fall. Kramer is able to find a kill onto Totoro, but he goes down in the end, and CJ, they're just being swept up. Madlife, the last member, falls. That's going to be a big kill coming through from Crazy, 14-12. And now
in the game
ESC, they should be able to close out this game.
At 71 minutes, the first game of the series finally ended, with CJ having a gold advantage for basic.
Nah, bro, I played an 80-minute game. Come on. 71 minutes, that's light work. That's easy.
The entire game, losing while still ahead 10,000 gold and 4 Barons.
When did I first meet Monty? I think 2012 I first met Monty, because he was a caster at like these MLG events and stuff, and these were the events that that we were always placing like well in. So towards the end, you only have one match a day. Earlier on, you don't have time to meet anyone, but towards the end, you only have one match a day, and I met him a couple times back then. So yeah, I've known Monty like 13, 14 years.
Freshly reworked 2016 Gangplank scaling was a lot.
Nice, now I'm turning 35 in a week. Excellent.
Game 2 was much faster than Game 1. At 30 minutes,
that's okay, bro. I'm not having a crisis turning 35. It's all good.
Was down 6,000 gold and also lost Baron. 5 minutes later, ESC was now up 13,000 gold, and Frost was fighting to defend their base. And at 49 minutes in, ESC baited an engage.
Yeah, no, I played an 80-minute game. It's one of the longest games I've ever played. I played an 80-minute game, yes.
The mid lane.
It's nearly dead, too.
Yeah, he's going to have the home guard
in
this
LCS.
time. Zips his way through. Hemo play coming down, Shy. Zipping his way in. They lock up Temp, trying to find the kill onto this Cassiopeia. He pops the shield from the Seraph's Embrace. Big taunt
backdoor. Rek'Sai is on the Nexus.
Yeah, Bless is just working it down. There's no
Damn,
way
he had a tunnel here. Wait, oh, I thought he ulted to it. I guess his ult is up. Never mind.
I believe they flash forward, trying to get him. They pop the Zodiac, or the Banshee.
They can't kill it fast
enough. Does not matter. Can they actually pop away? One more hit will do it.
Oh my god.
He's able to do it. Barely
just
alive.
run at that shit.
Rush it.
Yeah, ESC, they just
Logan,
have to walk forward. They go with the taunt.
Stop fighting them.
Kramer's dead.
Okay.
Jeez. For a second there, I thought they might be able to hold on for a bit longer.
Game 3 was CJ's last chance to save their team. They needed to not just win one match, but the next 3 in a row. And right from the start, it was grim. 35 minutes in, they were down 11,000 gold, 4 dragons,
Age is just
and a
number.
Baron.
Spike comes through.
I think you go to jail if you live by that motto.
And now Shy really far forward, going to get locked down. Weaver's Wall coming out. We'll cut off Logan to the other side. Curtain call coming through now. Bless in the front lines.
Bro, especially after what happened, bro. Yesterday, I don't know. Did you guys see all the tweets? Lil Tay, she's like a girl who, I think she blew up when she was like 14. She's like a rapper or something. And she started an OnlyFans like the day she turned 18. And everyone is like tweeting about how she got like in 3 hours, she made like over $1 million. It's just, people are just saying there's a massive amount of just files out there in the fucking world, bro. There's just mass pedophiles that are just all subbing.
Like,
oh, nice.
Very well
I
pop it. There
did
it
not
is.
have searched
CJ,
on Twitter for
save Shy's life. The answer
tweets.
is
Jesus
no.
Christ.
Still has the Unbreakable up, trying to retreat back to the fountain, but it's just too little, too
that
late.
was foolish. That was foolish.
Congratulations, you will remain in the LCS.
1 million in 3 hours. Yeah, crazy.
DK, and it's the end of an era.
This was the first time that an original Kespa team was relegated.
I mean, she also looks absurdly young. She looks like she's like young. You know, that's why it's even more creepy.
In the aftermath, CJ
You're
Entus
waiting for level 18 powers, but yeah, some people are sick.
announced that they were disbanding and released all players from their contracts. Madlife is the only player to play with the team since the very beginning, all the way to the end of the road. From his very first matches as an ADC player when they were called Ultimate X Darkness, through the MIG, Azubu, and CJ Entus eras. Madlife's loyalty to his team is often seen as a big reason why he was never able to win Worlds, or at least have a better chance after 2012, especially with him being banned out by other teams so often. If Madlife had been willing to move teams, especially early in his career, it's likely any team would have taken him. You might think that this was the end of Madlife's story, but not quite yet. He had one more season left in him, this time in North America. Madlife decided to join Gold Coin United, a Challenger Series team, hoping to win in the minor leagues and make it to the LCS by winning
look
a
at that
promotion
thing! Gold Coin United, Mash, Phoenix, Santorin, Solo, and Madlife
tournament. And during the spring season, Gold Coin United tied for second place with Tempo Storm, winning in the tiebreaker. Not only that,
I watched all these games because Santorin was my boy, and then Phoenix was my former teammate. Right, I played with him like a year, I guess a year and a half before this.
They beat the first place team, Iwdominate, in the playoff finals.
Gilius, bro, Gilius got clapped. Wait, where's Gilius? They didn't show Gilius. Gilius was on Iwdominate, by the way.
In the tiebreaker.
Iwdominate Licorice with Zazel, Gilius. Wasn't that What the Fox? They got Fox mid.
They beat the first place team, Iwdominate.
Definitely, I think, no?
In the playoff finals, meaning they were going to the promotion tournament with the best possible seed. The promotion started well, with Gold Coin winning their first series. This put them one single win away from entering the NALCS. However, the ending of Madlife's pro career is a tragedy. Despite the best possible seed, they lost back-to-back series, they
lost a 5-game to TL. This was the Doublelift TL, where Mercenary Doublelift came in. Mercenary Doublelift came in, played for TL. This is Midlit. Midlit, Lorlo. Is this Rainover at the time? I think this was actually Rainover at the time. Yeah, Midlit and Matt plus Doublelift.
Wins 2 losses against Team Liquid and Envious, sending them back to the Challenger Series.
Holy shit.
During the summer season, they once more placed in second and qualified for promotion.
United replaced Gilius with fucking Dandy. You had Dandy and Madlife playing in Challengers NA in season 7. That shit was crazy.
Again, after almost pulling off a reverse sweep.
And I heard that these players were getting paid. I heard it was like roughly like 12, 13K a month to play an academy in season 7.
They lost to Phoenix 1, and then unfortunately also got swept in the losers bracket. Having failed at promotions twice in a row, the team disbanded, and Madlife decided to head back to Korea. His intent was to try with another team, but he announced he was taking a break to focus on streaming while he considered his options. During this break though, on June 19th, 2018, Madlife announced his retirement. Not only did Madlife never win Worlds, after 2012, he never even qualified for Worlds. But he didn't need to. Madlife is the king without a crown. The faker before faker.
I mean, I told you, he's one of the first people going in my Hall of Fame. In the IWillDominate Hall of Fame, I do a League of Legends Hall of Fame. First player inducted is Xpeke. Second player inducted is Diamond Prox. Third player inducted is Madlife.
And the player who changed the support role forever. Before him, support was just a ward bot. It was a passive role. It wasn't a carry. Madlife changed that. He paved the way for all the support players that came after. You don't have to listen to me, just listen to this support player who actually has won Worlds 2 years in a row.
어렸을 때 이제 리그 오브 레전드라는 게임에 흥미가 없을 때 친형이 매드라이프 선수의 매드무비를 보여줬는데 그때 그 영상이 너무 매력적이어서 그때부터 게임을 시작했습니다.
매드라이프님 제가 준비한 게 있는데 한번 봐주세요.
알겠습니다.
You see Guma picks up yet another one, 6-0 and 2. Carrier, he's not done yet. He picks up the hook after the...
잠깐만 이거 뭐야? 아니 잠깐만.
Wait, hold up. 6-0 and 2. Carrier, he's not done yet. He picks up the hook after the...
잠깐만 이거 뭐야?
That was like the one split where Arya went into the LCK. People are like, "Oh, we've got Arya, bro. This guy was really good at Worlds when he played in Japan." Brought him back to the LCK. They just sent him away instantly.
아니 잠깐만. 이런 거구나. 이렇게 꿈을 키웠구나. 그러니까 상대방의 심리 같은 게 좀 갑자기 막 번뜩이거든요. 이 사람은 지금 되게 위축돼 있고 무조건 전멸을 사용 선고를 내 방향을 보는 게 아니라 이펙트를 보고 그냥 쓴다. 그러니까 소리 듣고 그냥 쓴다. 그런 게 들으면 이제 예측 그랩 같은 거 이제 하는데 저거는 진짜 뭔가 받지 않았나. 신대륙 같은 거 받지 않았나. 와, 그런 플레이를 봐서 참 눈이 호강하네요.
되게 그냥 신기하고 뿌듯합니다.
Madlife was such an outstanding player, such an icon that even people who didn't play League could tell that he was exceptional. So far, there are only 3 support players to win Worlds twice. Madlife's impact was so strong that seeing a montage of what he could do is the entire reason why Kyria even started to play League. Not start to play the support role, but to start playing League itself. And now he's one of its greatest players. In an interview...
And he is better all time than Mata, all right? We're not going to do that shit where we just... I'm an old head. I romanticize the old era of League, but I refuse to say that Mata is a better player all time than Kyria.
When talking about Madlife, Team Liquid support Ole said he...
Or Wolf. Yes, nope.
Changed the concept of support. I think because of him...
There's no way that Kyria is worse all time than Mata and Wolf. No shot. Number 1, number 2, bro. Number 1, number 2. In any order, I personally have Mako, then Kyria, but if you have Kyria, then Mako, sure.
Mata showed up.
I think Kyria will end up over Mako all time, for sure. But I just don't think he's there yet because he doesn't have enough of the accolades yet, in my opinion.
Gorilla showed up, and so many supports.
But, I mean, he'll be there soon.
Showed up because Madlife inspired so many people. I think every support was
Wolf
affected
and Barrel
by
my goats. Ugh, disgusting. You actually disgust me.
Madlife. There are so many interviews and comments about Madlife's career, it's hard to choose which to even mention.
We had some huge news this week, some sad news, in fact, that Madlife has officially retired. We talked in last split, and you mentioned that Madlife was one of your...
This guy, I remember liking his interviews when he was doing them for LEC, and then he became a complete weirdo. I think his name was like Darius or something.
Role models in a way. Was it
there was some
sad
drama
news
with him?
To hear that?
I just remember the takeaway was that he was a massive weirdo.
Players are getting inspired by Madlife, obviously. He made that meta. He just made support carry meta. Like he made support looks brighter. So it was pretty sad, yeah.
The peak of his career is often considered to be around 2012 or 2013, and for very good reason. Look at these stats. He had over an 80% win rate on Blitzcrank, almost 75% on Thresh, and his most played champion Sona had
I forget what he did. I mean, it wasn't like anything super nefarious or anything. I just remember he would just tweet out some weird shit.
64% win rate. The numbers are impressive, but just consider that by the end of 2016, Blitz had only won 18 games in the LCK's history. Madlife was responsible for 9 of them, and only 2 of the losses. This means that the LCK combined had a collective 9 wins and 21 losses on Blitzcrank. That's a 30% win rate to Madlife's 82. Despite Madlife's legacy, and despite what an icon he became, he was a very humble player. When you look at interviews talking about him, people always have positive things to say. That he was respectful and he was a team player. In threads about what player had the most wasted potential, Madlife's name always comes up. People always ask what would have happened if Madlife was on Blaze instead, and if he had a team that was able to capitalize on his strength. But Madlife never blamed anyone but himself. Even though everyone said he was the greatest, even though it would be so easy to just shrug off the blame, he did the opposite. When he announced his retirement, he was interviewed by Inven and was asked why he decided to retire. Madlife said, after failing twice in a row at play-ins last year, I had many thoughts, like, you're falling here again? He went on to say that while preparing for the summer split, he lost a lot of confidence. Then he apologized to his fans because he promised he would come back, but wasn't able to keep that promise. When asked about the team's decline in performance once they changed to CJ after Azubu, he said, I was really sorry for that. He elaborated, saying that he could have listened to the coaches more carefully. He said that he was hard to control, later saying that he tried harder than ever, but he was worn out, and as the seasons piled up, he suffered from the pressure. Madlife also said that because he was the oldest player on the team and that players felt his name had value, they showed him a lot of respect. They felt that they couldn't speak up to him to give him feedback on his mistakes, and it made it more difficult for him to continue to improve as a player. At the end of the interview, Madlife was asked if he had any last words for his league career, and this is what he had to say. A lot of people remember me as a player that revolutionized the support role. I'm very happy and satisfied that I'll be remembered as that player. Even until very recently, a lot of fans sent me fan letters, saying things like, I've been your fan fan for many years. I've become a support main because of you. And I started to play Blitzcrank thanks to you. I've been getting flamed because of it. He went on to say, seeing my fans like that really fills me up with happiness. I was the player that changed the image of the support role back in the day, so please remember as such. Thank you so much for having cheered for me when I was a player, but please remember that this isn't the end. I'll still be alive, you know. So please look forward to what kind of path Min Shi-hong will walk in the future. I'll show myself from time to time through streaming and guest commentating, so please continue to cheer for me. I'll see you all again from a different position.
雨が降ってきたな。いいえ、雨なんて。いや。
And with that, we have covered the story and legacy of one of my favorite players of all time, and one of the most influential in League's history. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Madlife? Were you playing League back when Madlife was in his prime, and did you watch his matches? If you're a new player, what do you think about Madlife and his legacy? How much of his story did you know? Before finishing up, I wanted to take a moment to thank you all for supporting the channel. It blows my mind how lucky I am to be able to make this type of content, and I can't even express how grateful I am for the support. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
Bro, I like this guy's channel a lot. This guy has some really good content.
Since League of Legends launched,
we've watched I haven't watched too many of these videos. That's crazy. He only has 17 videos, but I love channels like this where people just put out a video like once a month, and then it's like a complete banger, you know? It's like they do a video and it's just something that people haven't talked about, you know? And they just do a really in-depth story that needs to be told that people just like don't have the memory of or whatever. I haven't seen some of the other ones, but yeah, I mean, this guy creates really good content. I like it, bro. I'll subscribe. You guys should subscribe to this guy too. I love boomer shit like this. It's so crazy. It always makes me feel like super nostalgic and stuff to go back and just see all these fucking different images and then, I don't know, watch Madlife play. I mean, he played against fucking us and shit. Cool to have lived through this time and see the stories told now. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me, bro.